We have to be known that we're here today. Got your Wi-Fi connection? Thank you very much. Wi-Fi connection. Should be there. You can actually get to see it. Just go to your phone, Wi-Fi, you will see. That's it. That's it, you saw it. That's it, you've seen it? Pro Pack, yeah? All right. Let me have the details. Thank you very much. We have a Pro Pack 23. All right. P is capital. So there's Pro Pack Wi-Fi. Have you seen it? Good. So the password is Pro Pack 23. We're going to go step by step until we get it right. Thank you very much. Are we in? If you're not in, you got to raise up your hand. So we have a countdown or maybe 45 seconds. So everybody's in. Fantastic. All right. We're going to wait up for everybody. Everybody has to be in. We're not moving without everybody being in. Are you in? Pro Pack? I'm going to come and help. So we are Pro Pack 23 without C. Without a C. There's no C before K. There's no C before K. All right? There's no C before K. Let me say this. Pro Pack 23. Pro Pack 23. Gonna have to try again. I think it's gonna go in now. Are we in? It's good. You've gone in. Help him. Help him get in. Help him get in. Pro Pack 23. We've not started. We're getting ready to start. Good. Are we in? Fantastic. So now for those who are in, please move all the way to Twitter. I know there are those applications that you have them. Move all the way to Twitter if you're already in. Twitter. Your Twitter account. All right? Move all the way to Twitter. Some people call it Twitter. For us, we're going to call it Twitter. Are we there? You've never used it, you're going to use it today. Or Facebook. Whatever account that you use. Your Twitter account. Yeah. Or Facebook. For those of us who are on Facebook, go to Facebook. Good. Are we there? Fantastic. Step by step. We've not even started yet. So, hashtag, as how we start. Hashtag Kenya, capital K, packaging, no space, please. No space. Packaging, that is capital P, summit, capital S, no space. Let's make it fun then. Now you have the hashtag, all right? I don't know what you want to say, but please, ladies and gentlemen, could you please take a beautiful selfie of yourself and post that? Today, we have to make everybody know that we're right here at this summit. Thank you very much. I want to see your phones up. Please, you can take with your friend or anybody that you're with. Let's see you scream that we are at the Kenya Packaging Summit. Thank you very much. Or you can say a line or two about this event today. Kenya Packaging Summit. The hashtag Kenya Packaging Summit. So there's a hashtag Kenya Packaging Summit. Whatever it is you're going to talk about it or say about it, it is up to you. Thank you very much. Here we go. Can see a lot of people do it already. Thank you. And we're getting in. Thank you very much. Here we go. Are we ready to start? Are we in? I can see some guys trying behind me. Please do it. Thank you very much for those who are doing it. Asante sana. Here we go. So today, for everything that you want to talk about on social media, it has to have the hashtag Kenya Packaging Summit. Because we belong, we're here today, and we have to make everybody know that indeed we're here today. Fantastic. Are we in? Are we in? Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to officially stand up for the national anthem so we can get to start the Packaging Summit. DJ? On your cue. Let's stand up for the national anthem. Thank you very much. Remain standing for word of prayer, please. Father in heaven, thank you very much. We appreciate, we recognize you as our Father of Fathers. You're the creators of creators. We've met here for the official first Kenya Packaging Summit ever in the continent. We want you to guide us throughout the day. For all the speakers who are going to make their presentation today, be with them. Be with our side on technology and be our side in terms of health, Father. Once we are done with the Packaging Summit, all praise and honor will be yours. In Jesus' name, I pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Let's sit down. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, a story is told. And I know majority of you will know the story. And the story goes like this. It's an African story. An interesting story. One time, an African mom sent the son to the shop to do shopping for the household. So the son left. Guess what the mom sent the son? Beef for the family. All right. So the mom said, go to the shop, get me beef. That's what we're going to have for lunch. Majority of you might know this story, but listen keenly. So the son went, got beef. But then the only thing that was in his pocket was a string. So the son, knowing very well that I got to carry this beef home, tied the string to the beef from the butchery, pulled it on the road on the way home. Guess what happened? On the way, a dog saw foot, followed this young boy, kept on pecking on this beef. The boy got home, said, Mom, I've got the beef. So the mom said, where is it? Boy looked back, only had a string. It doesn't end there. No, the story goes on. So the mom was very, very sad and bitter. He said, how can you lose this? Listen to my words. Next time, when you're sent to the shop, at least put it on your head. Because the dogs couldn't have got it if it was on your head. The son listened keenly. Guess what? Breakfast time the next day. All right? Go to the shop, get bread for the family's breakfast. The son was quite attentive. Ran to the shop, bought the bread. Guess how the son carried it? On the head. It's in the village. For those people who know the story of eagles, they can snatch anything, even where you are. They've even snatched babies in some. Bought the bread, carried on the head. Now the African eagle, the small one, is been known to even learn emotions and ability. Went, did not snatch the bread, just landed on top of them, on the bread. By the time the son was getting home, Mom, here's the bread. Okay, what was left? Nothing, absolutely, just the head. The mom was quite disappointed. How can you do this? I mean, next time when I send you to the shop, at least carry it by your armpit, you know? Good. The son listened. Lunch hour. Guess what the son was sent? My story will continue for the rest of this day. Because in some way or another, the son has never learned to date. That story is a totally beautiful story for the first Kenya Packaging Summit, the first of its continent, which is essentially going to talk about packaging. Today, we are going to see live examples on our table right there. So we'll pick you randomly, and we'll say, are we really getting there when it comes to packaging? Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a clap? There is a lot of presentations that we're going to go through today. Majority of our community is going to be online as well, and we're going to jump right into them. For now, let me take this particular opportunity to welcome on board the CEO, IPPK, and the SG, APO, Joseph Nyongesa, to officially then get us running. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Simpa. I think that illustrates the criticality of packaging. So, Vice President, World Packaging Organization, Angela Kinywa, Montgomery Portfolio Director, and our sponsor, Mr. Kimani from the Ministry of Environment, all our distinguished guests. I'd like to welcome you to this critical first packaging summit in this country. The President, WPO, is tuning in. Mr. Pien Paya from Australia. We have the President of African Packaging Organization, welcome, is tuning in from Nigeria. We have the UNIDO in chief, is tuning in from Vienna. We have Mr. Andro from European Packaging Organization and Finnish Packaging Body is also tuning in. And we have many people online tuning in. So mine is very brief, just to welcome you to this summit. Incidentally, this summit was conceived in Egypt. You guys are here. You have come at the right time to witness the birth of this baby, and it's exactly 9 months ago. When ECP was in Egypt, there was this discussion with the vice president that we should have an annual packaging summit. We shall be doing this every year alongside our proper partners who have kindly sponsored this occasion. The objective of the summit, first and foremost, is to appreciate and celebrate packaging. Now, a lot of times we take packaging for granted when we go to supermarkets or when we sit in our kiosks. We don't stop to reflect the critical role it plays in our lives. So the first thing is just to recognize that packaging matters, and it makes our modern life possible. A lot of times we are bashed because of some packaging littering and all that. But by and large, packaging matters, and it plays a big role in our endeavor to build sustainable societies. So this is an event that will happen every year. And each year, it will have a theme. And the theme this year is sustainable packaging for brands and exports. We are all aware that the world has woken up to sustainability, and we cannot get away from it. The local brands here, we are doing a lot of initiatives to make sure that our packaging is actually sustainable. That means the packaging we are using now, we want to make sure that even other future generations will be able to have packaging to use in their journeys and in their lives. But export markets, as you'll see from the numerous presentations you'll see today, are very alive and sensitive to this issue. We are happy that we have our partners, FPIC, Fresh Produce Exporters, Kenya Export Promotion Council, or nowadays call it KEPROPA. They are alive to this. So as a country, we are really preparing ourselves, not only as a country, but as East Africa, as Africa. We are trying to make sure that we are not caught off guard. And with our partners, PROPAC, we're having an exhibition starting from tomorrow. You'll be able to see a lot of these technologies displayed. So mine is just to welcome you. Sit back. We have very rich, many of ideas, resources to help us come up to speed. Because every year we shall be coming up to speed with what is happening in the packaging world, whether the issues of plastic packed, we have our guys here, the issues of all those issues we shall be able to be sharing every year. So this is just the beginning. The journey of 1,000 kilometers, they say it starts with 1 meter, and it has started. We are going to have conversations on starting a Kenya Packaging Star Awards, where we shall be able to recognize the best packaging in terms of structure and in terms of graphic designs, which will go up to the continental level. And I'm happy that the universities of Nairobi and TUK are here. And we have been longing to meet so that we can promote this. This year we shall be having AfriStar during the proper conference, conference exhibition to showcase the excellence of packaging in Africa. And this year we are also privileged to have the Vice President of the World Packaging Organization in person, who handles these World Star exhibitions, the top range of packaging around the world. And she also handles exhibitions at the World Park, so you'll have some notes to share. So mine was just to wakaribisha, and I'd like to recognize Zippy. Yes, this is her baby. She conceived it in Egypt. I don't know whether it was at the pyramids. And it was 9 months ago, and it is being born, and we have our friends from Egypt here. So ladies and gentlemen, karibu sana, and sit back and have a nice time. So, Mr. Simba, that is the end of my story. Who is coming next? I know you are running the protocol.
Have a seat. Thank you very much. A round of applause for our CEO. Thank you very much. Whew. So the story is going to continue. We're just getting started. And I like the way it is chop, chop, in, out. That's exactly what we're going to do for the end of the day. So, I said we have to keep on shouting, isn't it? Good. Let's go back to our phones again. You have to be known, ladies and gentlemen. We can't be doing this alone. Whatever we're doing here, it is a first of its kind. All right. So we are live. Let's go to YouTube. We have to share the link. Let's go to YouTube right now. I'll tell you exactly where to get it from. Right, our social media desk. I'm going to give instructions. If I give the wrong ones, you can tell me to stop. All right, here we go. We are live through our official partner TV station. It's called Lookuptv. Let's do that right now before we welcome the next speaker. So let's go to Lookuptv. Thank you very much. Lookuptv on YouTube. We're going to go to Facebook as well, for those who are on Facebook as well. Lookuptv. Have we got it? Thank you very much. That's it. Ooh, some guy. Thank you very much. Now we are live. So please subscribe first. That's the first thing that you do. Subscribe. After you subscribe, then share the link to any other person then that you may want to also be part and a parcel of whatever it is that we are doing here today. Guess what? We're getting started. So once we're good, you can say, for those who are on Facebook, let's go to Facebook as well. Let's go to Facebook as well. Same thing, Lookuptv. You can follow and like the page. Lookuptv. Look up. Thank you very much. On Facebook. On Facebook. Not the website. On Facebook. On Facebook. Lookuptv. Thank you very much. So we are done with YouTube. So YouTube is Lookuptv. We are live there as well. So share the link. Put it on WhatsApp status or anywhere that you want to put it so that now your audience can actually also get to watch this. So once we're on Facebook as well, go to Lookuptv. We are live. So follow, share. Thank you very much, Winnie. Thank you very much. We are in. Fantastic. We only move once we're there. Checking around. Share, please. Thank you very much. I think we're good. So we're going to keep on shouting. We're live through all those for the rest of the day. So our online community, which is quite huge, will also be part and parcel of whatever it is that we're doing here today. Ah, fantastic. I like it when I hear found them. All right, and we're going to continue like this. So ladies and gentlemen, throughout the day, we kept on saying, how good are we with packaging? Okay? Now, I want you to follow me to this table right here. All right? All eyes. Let's have the cameras now. Let's have the cameras on board. Thank you very much. Action time. Action time. I've got a couple of packs here, and that's how we are going to get in as we wait for our next speaker to get ready. And I'm going to be very random. And I want you to help as well. Fantastic. It's very early in the morning, and I gave you the story of the bread. So now imagine you've woken up in the morning, and the first thing that you do in the morning, probably you have 1 or 2 kids, and they gotta take breakfast. But you see, I don't think with health eating nowadays, you can feed your 2 kids an entire loaf of bread. It means that the same packaging that you have is going to be used for storing that bread. Are we together? We do agree, isn't it? Fantastic. So now, this is our bread this morning. We've hidden the brand quite well. And this is an example of packaging. All right? So now I want to officially recognize in our audience our lecturers from the Technical University of Kenya and UON. At this point, I want to call upon Winnie. Come here, please. All eyes on this table. All right, Winnie? You're going to say hi to our audience, and then we have a challenge for you. Please help me, okay? Are we together? Help us. We're talking about the Kenya Packaging Summit, and so we got to be in it completely. All eyes on the table. Winnie, I need you to be behind this table. Good. Don't worry. All is good. And here is the bread. Thank you very much. She's going to say hi after she's done with the next assignment. Good. Winnie, imagine I'm your kid this morning. Mom, I need to go home. I need to go to school. Can you please give me breakfast? Your challenge is to open the packaging of this bread under 45 seconds. Okay? Without damaging this packaging, because you have to use the bread to feed your kids tomorrow again. And it's simple, Winnie. We have to open the package. Okay? Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready? Are we ready? All eyes on Winnie. Thank you very much. Are we ready? Stand by. And we're going to Winnie. Hold on. There's going to be a countdown. Silence on set. DJ, cut the music. Cut the music. All right, we're getting ready now. Winnie, do not touch the packaging, please. Do not study it. Do you study the bread this morning when you want to give it to your kids? So do not study. Do not study. Thank you very much. And we're going to Winnie. She has only 45 seconds to open that bread. And in 3, 2, 1, let's go. 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 37, 35, 32. Are we in? Stop the clock. 30 seconds. Woo! A round of applause for Winnie. But can I ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen? How many of us, and I want you to be very honest, how many of us, when we are opening this packaging of bread in a house, completely destroy this packaging? Because then getting through this tiny package here is a nuisance. Hands up. Hands up. Oh my God, Winnie, you're so part of those guys who destroy it.
You want to open the package very quickly. So you start opening it, it opens, and then it gets stuck, so you just rip it,
Fantastic. That you're just going to say, thank you very much, Winnie. So the bread would actually belong to you, so I don't know whether that's it. Fantastic. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like to introduce Angela. She's going to introduce officially herself as we wait for the next speaker to come on board, so she can officially also welcome us right here and introduce and tell us much more about IPPOK.
Good morning, everyone. As you've been told, my name is Angela Kinywa. I'll be quite short. First, I want to just say I'm very, very, very grateful to be here and to see the amazing faces today in the morning. So first, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the WPO president, the UNIDO chief, Mr. Ali, the WPO vice president, Soha. We are very glad you're here with us. FPIC CEO, Jose Mushuki, the APO chair, that is Ahmed Omar, Anthro from the Finnish Packaging, and of course the Ministry of Environment. In case I've left anyone, I shall just circle it by saying all protocols observed. But anyway, so I'm delighted and honored to be invited today to the Kenya Packaging Summit. As Mr. Nyongesa has said, this is a key milestone for us in this sector. As ProPack, yes, we are an event, but we go beyond the event. We believe in community engagement. We are here in the industry to be able to make sure that our community is educated, is assisted, that we are competing at global standards. So we want to try as much as possible to disseminate information that is very helpful to our community. As I said, there are so many experts here. In fact, I think I'm a bit intimidated by them because they have such years of experience. And we are very honored to have them all take their time to come and be able to assist in educating everyone who's coming and is watching us live. So just as a brief overview, a lot of people are wondering what ProPack East Africa is. So ProPack East Africa is a B2B exhibition that is meant for the printing, packaging, plastics, and processing sectors. So basically, we are in the industry to be able to support manufacturers and the whole manufacturing process from the beginning to the end. And we have this exhibition starting from tomorrow. So this is more of like a pre-event. And of course, invite you all to come and see the various companies that are exhibiting. And we definitely have a conference running alongside, who Soha is going to be one of our speakers, and we really appreciate that. Yes, and basically I think with the world moving towards becoming more sustainable, I believe that this is a time to have such a forum. It's a time for us to be able to speak, to be able to inquire about what we can be able to do to make our planet more sustainable. We are all responsible. So as you've heard from Mr. Nyongesa, it goes from everything you're doing from your house up to the manufacturing level. So it's up to all of us to be able to engage and to be able to be very part of this conversation. We believe that this summit will be crucial in ensuring we implement such actions. There's a lot of knowledge that is going to be given today, and we urge you to be able to use this wherever you go to just spread the word and make sure that it's actually implemented. We have a very long-standing, mutually beneficial relationship with IOPPK, Mr. Nyongesa, ZP, Brian, and these are individuals who are very passionate about this subject. I think if you sit with Mr. Nyongesa for like 5 minutes, he'll probably mention packaging 4 times in those 5 minutes. So that's how passionate he is about this. And I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to you, Mr. Nyongesa, and for the team for organizing this very important event to us. And also, as a company, we value and appreciate partnerships. We believe that we can only grow as far as we reach out to help to have others to be able to help us grow. We cannot be on an island. I did not want to operate in an island. So that being said, I do want to welcome all organizations that are here to partner with us in our various activities. Outside of our exhibition, we also have what we call community engagement activities, and we'd like to be able to partner with you and just spread the word and actually be able to bring value to all the activities that you do. Once again, it's an honor and a privilege to be part of this summit. I'm sure it's going to be a very, very big success. And I wish you all a very productive morning. Sadly, because we are currently building our exhibition downstairs, anyone who's passed downstairs can testify. I won't be able to be here most of the time, but I'll do my best to be coming saying hi. Plus, I can follow on the socials as well. So thank you so much. Please feel welcome. In Kenya, we say karibu. Karibu means welcome. So karibu to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Angela, before you step out, see how we clap for something that happens for the very first time. Angela, you gotta stop here. Just come back. Why are you running away? Come back. All right. So I'm gonna teach you a special way that we are going to clap this morning, okay? All right. So for Angela, she's been our second speaker, so we're gonna give her 2. Can I show you? Ta-ta. Just a quick one. In fact, if you've been the last speaker, you'd have gotten a lot of them. It's very sad that you might come back, isn't it? So you have to come back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, ta-ta. Stand by. Hold on. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, ta-ta. Let's go. Ta-ta. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right, thank you very much. We move on as fast as we can, ladies and gentlemen. And now, we said our packaging summit, for its essence really, it is global. So whether you like it or not, now we're going to cross then all the way and join our online guests who are going to talk to us right now. And at this point, let me introduce then Ahmed Omar, who is the APO president. And he's online. All right? So we're going to turn and then join him up. All right? Mr. Omar, if you can hear me, we are ready for you for your presentation. And the audience is full then, waiting to get what it is that you have prepared for us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm just waiting for a notification from the technical desk that indeed Omar is ready. I'm just going to move to them so that then we can see exactly where we are with this particular one, so we can see whether it's ready to take us online. Omar, if you can hear me right now, our audience is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the APO president, Ahmed Omar, who's joining us online for his presentation. Right now, as we jump up. Omar, if you can hear us and see us as well, we are ready for you this morning. Waiting to transition online to Omar. Yes, we can hear you, Omar. Just coming to you shortly. All right, as we wait for Omar then to go online, ladies and gentlemen, we say today that particular table is going to be our action table. So I'm coming back to you again as we wait for Omar then to come online so we can go live with them. Again, thank you very much. My camera people, full us. Whew, we are here as we wait for Omar then to come online. Another challenge. Since we're talking about packaging, and you could hear what Angela presented this morning, that we are supporting manufacturers, and our theme is packaging for brands. So I've got to stick out as a brand, and it's a good thing that I'm here with experts who, for them, packaging isn't just about putting in the product for it to get to the customer. No, it has to be telling a story for the brand. So now, I want to pick a gentleman right here with us. And this is random as it's going to be. So I'm going here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to pick you, sir. Follow me. This is the most engaging summit you're going to be. Good. Behind the action table. Thank you very much. All right. Good. So your challenge is quite simple. It's not about food. Oh, have you taken breakfast?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not about food. All right. Action time, ladies and gentlemen. You have a shot right there on the table. Can you see it? It's a blue shot. To the right side, there is packaging material for that shot. You see? To the left side, there's packaging material. It's similar. So this challenge is going to be double. As we wait for Hamed Omar then to join us online. Now, officially introduce yourself to our audience.
My name is Musa Ongori. I come from the Ocean Youth Innovators Organization.
It's a good thing that we have an innovator in the house. You have exactly 2 minutes. We're going to count. To use as much material as you can to package that shot as if it's going to the shop. Countdown begins in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 3 seconds gone. 2 seconds gone. That's 5. 1 minute 55 seconds. Oh my, it can't be like that.
Can you hear me?
1 minute done.
Okay.
45.
Thank you.
One minute exactly.
All right. Thank you.
35. All eyes on him. 30 seconds. 28 seconds. 25 seconds. Are you done packing? We can stop the clock. Okay. Good. Now, officially. Hold on, cameras on them. On his desk. Imagine you are going to the shop to get a shot like this. Can we see it? Packed like this. Would you buy it? Would you buy it? Rate this packaging out of 10.
4.
What is there to give him 4? Please give him the right score. Is it because he's seated between you? Can you give him the right score?
Okay, I'd give him 1.5.
1.5? Just for trying. Give him a score.
I'll give him 1.
1? Just for trying? Thank you very much. You can have your seat. All right? Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I want us to cross online so we can join Hamed Omar. He's already with us so that we can get to listen to his presentation as well. Thank you very much. Hamed, if you can get us, it's your time to speak to the audience.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. You can actually respond. You can hear all of us.
Yes, I can hear you. Am I audible enough?
Yes, you are audible enough. Please continue, sir.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome all participants and delegates to this summit. It's a great pleasure that APU and Institute of Packaging Professional Kenya is hosting African and the world at this conference. It's quite unfortunate that I'm not able to attend, but I bring to you greetings from Nigeria. I would like us at this conference also to remember our colleagues in Ukraine who has been undergoing some tremor due to the invasion. And also, we should remember our colleagues that are in Turkey and in Syria. This conference, it's one of its kind. And like I always say to people, Africa is the next destination. Africans still remain largely underdeveloped, in spite of the fact that this is the source for major raw materials for packaging and a major continent where food is available abundantly. I believe deliberations at this conference today will focus more on providing sustainable packaging material to be able to save the continent and for the continent to be able to provide the much required food across the world. Africa is endowed with a lot of natural resources, including agricultural produce, and one of the key or important factor of packaging is for packaging to be able to preserve, protect, and present this food across to people millions of miles away. Africans still largely underdeveloped with challenges in areas of packaging education. I also like colleagues, especially UNIDO, that is here to focus more on how to build human capacity across the continent. We are excited and happy that we have been working closely with the Institute of Packaging South Africa, and we have tried as much as possible to produce enough graduates in the one-year diploma in packaging technology that runs for almost 9 months. We are also excited and happy to the World Packaging Organization that have put out resources across this continent to be able to grow the much required human capacity. For most of the institutions in Africa, if you check very well, there are no suitable places where we offer packaging education. And also, we do not have enough technical center for which we can deploy this knowledge across to the younger generation. Quite a number of us that have been involved in packaging in Africa came into packaging by accident, either from the organizations we have worked. We have not really been able to put institution or academy or schools in place where we can be able to deploy this knowledge across to like what you have in places like India, you have also in the US, and you have in Europe. African Packaging Organization has in the last few months focused more on training, running conferences like you have today, and also running exhibitions like you have. I'm excited that the ProPack East African is coming up strong. We also have ProPack West African in Nigeria, which has been running for the last 8-9 years. And we also launched ProPack Ghana we will also be launching ProPack Ghana in the coming few months in Accra. We wish to solicit support from the international community and people that are present here at this conference to put more focus on how to be able to develop Africa, how you'll be able to support us using packaging to grow the trade across the African continent. One of the biggest challenges in the continent is the continual loss of foreign exchange, because most of the trades are foreign currency denominated. The African Free Continental Trade Agreement has reached up to about 80% in terms of trade across the continent, and we hope that with conferences like this and the outcome of this conference, we'll be able to support more of the trade within the continent. I'll be able to save a lot of the foreign resources that are going out from the continent. I wish delegates at this conference a successful deliberation, and I must not also fail to mention that we appreciate the support from Liban Pack that is also here to officially launch the Kenya Star, which is a packaging competition for packaging excellence in Kenya. We have launched same last year in Nigeria, and we're looking forward that both Kenya and Nigeria will be able to send in entry into the World Star Award. Thank you, and I wish all of you a successful deliberation. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Guys, we don't clap like that for the first time presenter, isn't it? All right, let's do this. Together, we are going to do this. He's the third speaker. All right? So the way we started, ta, ta, but this time we're going to go thrice. Okay? Are we ready? We're getting ready for the claps for Hamid. Ta, ta, ta. Let's get together. Stand by. Let's go. Ta, ta, ta. Thank you very much. We are swiftly moving with the presentation. Let's move on to the next area as well. We want to recognize the next speaker, who is the WPO president. It's the one that we want to invite online before we continue with our presentation. Remember, it is the first summit of its kind. That's the Kenya Packaging Summit. As we move on, remember we are online. For those guys who are coming in, share the link. It is online at Lookuptv. You have the Wi-Fi password. The Wi-Fi password is at POPAC23. The Wi-Fi password is POPAC. Password is POPAC23. Capital P. Fantastic. Share the link. Fantastic. At this particular point, I want to introduce the next speaker to take up the next section. She's deep within this particular conversation that we're talking about. First time I met her yesterday, and even when you will speak to her likely, you would essentially see that she comes from within this particular area. Right now, as we were waiting for the WPO president to speak to us this morning, I want to introduce the WPO vice president, exhibitions and conferences. Ladies and gentlemen, next on this stage to make a presentation before the president comes on, we do have Soha Atala. Welcome on stage.
Karibu. Welcome everybody. I'm really happy to see these beautiful faces this morning. I'm so happy that I'm here finally in Kenya. I'm the Vice President of the WPO and also organizer of World Star. So on behalf of the WPO, I'm here to represent WPO in this first ever packaging summit. It's a dream came true. We started last year by chance and we didn't know that it will happen. Sincere appreciation to Joseph and to Zippy, and really you're being a great host. I'm so happy to be here. So today I will also have another intervention to discuss many issues about sustainable packaging trend, global packaging trend. And you know, WPO is an international federation that is composed of National Packaging Institute. And the IOPP is also one of our leading packaging institute from Africa. And we have also other packaging institute. I'm also the organizer of World Star. World Star is the leading global packaging awards, and I'm happy also today that we will be launching Kenya Star, and soon we will also be having award from Kenya. For World Star, nobody can participate directly. You need to be winner in your own country or in your own region before accessing the World Star. I'm also Vice President for Packaging Exhibitions. So I travel a lot to see packaging exhibition around the world, and I'm also happy that also in this mission I will be also with you for ProPack Kenya. I'm very excited because also last year we were with ProPack Egypt, and also we will be there again in June, and also I was in ProPack Thailand. So I'm really very curious to see the packaging companies here in Africa and the packaging trend. Really, thank you so much. It's really an honor for me to be here with you, and we will meet more during the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We move on as we keep on waiting for the president then to speak. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at our timetable, that's it. It means that it's around 10:30. That's the time, according to your program, that was supposed to go briefly then, grab some tea, and then come back as we're waiting for the next presentations to begin. Just as we're waiting for them to come online, this is exactly what we're going to do. We are not going to essentially break for this particular one. And it's actually possible for us to limit this particular one to just but 5 minutes. Okay? But we're going to get there. And before we get there, all right, just to carry on with the presentation, let's move on then. I'm getting informed that we're going to have our tea right here, all right, which is okay.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for them. They're not letting me in.
Fantastic. That means that the guest that we were waiting to come on board is actually online with us at this particular time. I'm just waiting for a notification from our technical team that we do have him online so that we can also give him time to make that particular presentation, all right? Remember, all this particular one is getting covered online. Our link is at Lookuptv. For those who want to share, you can still share that particular link to all your audience who want to see exactly what it is that you're doing here today. That is quite a possibility. Again, I will repeat, we are at Lookuptv. Share the link. Let it be known as well. The hashtag that we're using today is the Packaging Summit. Hashtag Kenya Packaging Summit. Capital K, capital P, capital S as well. We're waiting for the WPO president to make his presentation. Just like we said, we are online as well. And that means that we're waiting for all the presentations across the board. And ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like us to link directly to the WPO president who's going to make his presentation just right about now. If you can hear us, sir, we are online. Pierre, if you can hear us, good morning from the capital of Kenya, Nairobi City. Our audience is ready. You can say hi to them. They can hear you in real time and continue with your presentation. Can you hear us, sir? Pierre, can you hear us? Confirm you can hear us.
Well, I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you,
Firstly, very good afternoon. And wonderful to be with all of you today. Special welcome to our honored guest, Ali Badita from UNIDO. Nice to have you with us this morning. Also to Alexa Mirkovic, welcome to you. To our IOPPK President, Joseph Nyangesi, and to our African Packaging Organisation President, Ahmed Omar. Also, our Secretary General, Dr. Johannes Brinkmeyer, a warm welcome to you, and to our VP, Soha Atla, who's there in Nairobi this morning. Great to have all of us together, and fantastic to have the first Kenyan Packaging Summit. What a milestone, and well done to IOPPK. This is fantastic news and it brings together various formats of packaging along the value chain. And that's what's important. Converters, users, supply chain, retailers, export agencies, policymakers, regulators, and then folk like us who live, eat, sleep and drink packaging every day. Great that it's in Nairobi, and wonderful that Kenya leads the way in this forum of a packaging summit in Central Africa. This shows the importance that you in the African region put on packaging to ensure that you stay abreast with what's happening globally. The mere fact that you have such a strong representation from UNIDO, but also from the WPO, is testament to the importance that we attach to this event. The WPO, being a 66-member country, sees value in continuing to ensure that all folk around the world are educated in various ways and various formats of packaging. But it's that network of opportunity that develops from such a get-together in your capital of Kenya. And it comes down to empowering, inspiring, and educating people. And not only people of now, but people of the next generation. Those that will follow us and ensure that we maintain a sustainable world when it comes to packaging. We have solutions to support the innovation to ensure that we can have better packaging and create a better quality of life for more people. I urge all those that are present there in that forum to take the learnings of today and disseminate them, tell others about them, use them, so that Central Africa can also become a leading region in the packaging world. I wish everyone well that's in attendance. I thank all those that have taken the time out and made the effort to be present. Not only are you there to learn, you're also there to make friends in packaging. Go out there and enjoy this event. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. Applause for our WPO president. Thank you very much. All right, technical team, let's have the lights on. Good. Is the fourth speaker. For those who are following, it is ta-ta, ta-ta. Okay? That's how we go. Thank you very much. Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Ta-ta, ta-ta. Thank you very much. I keep on saying we are online at Lookuptv. So for those who've not shared that particular link, you need to share as well. Put it on your WhatsApp status, put it on your Facebook, put it on your Twitter. Remember, the hashtag is the Kenya Packaging Summit. That is capital K, capital P, capital S. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in the presence of a lot of experts in this particular industry. We are just starting, and if you look at the manufacturing value chain, then all the speakers who are going to make their presentations here come from within. So they're speaking from within outside. We want to recognize also the presence of our online community. We can see a lot of engagements online on that particular link. Thank you very much, Lookuptv, for being part of that particular one. Our guests who are streaming in, we also do appreciate you. Like we said, this is going to be a crash in terms of the way we're going to look at this particular presentations here today. We're going to keep on moving on, and just before we transition to the next part of our presentation, as we wait for our guests to get ready, we've kept on taking challenges today. What we're going to do is showing you throughout on exactly how we are going to present. Our technical team, let's have some music interlude as we get our next speaker then to come online. Thank you very much. From our online community, again, if you look at your particular program now, we're right within the UNIDO presentations. And ladies and gentlemen, at this particular time again, let's jump online as well and introduce the next speaker. Thank you very much. All right, so if you can hear us, our audience can see you, they can hear you, so jump right within your presentation. Thank you very much.
UNIDO headquarters in Vienna to the lovely Africa. It's always difficult to speak after my colleague and partner Pierre. He just nicely put the context for this amazing day. And I really echo Pierre that this is a very amazing opportunity to have our partner in Kenya launching the very first summit. This is going to be indeed an important milestone in advancing the packaging area in Africa. So from UNIDO side, I think from the day we were approached by WPO and IPP Kenya, we did not hesitate but to come over and try to support your efforts in the region. So let me just confirm that from UNIDO side, we will be more than happy to support your efforts and build on the outcomes of your conference today. This topic is a very challenging topic and usually tend to be lost in the middle of all the high topics in Africa. So it requires always a champion who takes the lead and make the change. So really, we congratulate you, IPP Kenya. We congratulate the African Packaging Organization and all the partners around you for taking this up. And rest assured that UNIDO will do its utmost to support you in this journey. We look forward to the discussions, to the outcomes, and to discuss together how we best partner with you in the future. Africa for UNIDO is a high priority region, and we are active in almost all countries in Africa in different fields, supporting industrial development, and packaging is a very important topic for us. So thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be with you today, and I look forward to listen to the discussions and presentations and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Because so it's gonna go 5, okay? Stand by. Stand by.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Shall I share the... Okay, can I share my PowerPoint now? Just a second. Okay. Okay. Up. Okay. Can you see now the dragon? Fantastic. Well, first of all, good morning, good afternoon, whatever the time of the day is at the moment in each every one of you's watches. In Finland, it's 9:45 in the morning, and today is a beautiful sun-shining day in Finland. I wanted to share with you some points of view with the European packaging regulation, and I decided to start with an image of a dragon. This is a dragon installed by the environmental organizations in the capital of European Union, Brussels, a couple of years back. And the thing about dragon is that this dragon is not spitting flames from its mouth as they usually do, but this is spitting plastic packaging waste. And this, I think, illustrates very well the present attitude of European Union towards packaging. Packaging is regarded in too many cases or too often waste and a problem instead of a solution for big problems. But let's go on. So in a nutshell, in this slide, I tried to put together all the main elements of the packaging regulation in European Union. First of all, the oldest and most established part of the packaging regulation is the food contact material regulation of European Union. This dates back already in the times after the Second World War, so starting 1945 and ongoing. The objective of the food contact material regulation is to keep consumers safe and sound. And the things, of course, to avoid or the contamination of food by the packaging material. And how this works in practice, it works through a chain of custody and certificates of conformity, which means that all the actors in the value chain of packaging and food production have to have certificates of conformity from their suppliers, and then they, in their turn, give the certificates of conformity to their customers. And this forms a chain of custody where, since the very beginning, all the materials used for food contact food contact packaging are made out of raw materials that are well controlled, and then they end up in a packaging, forming a packaging which is safe for the consumers. In many cases, and the strictest part of this regulation actually touches plastic packaging, and that is why plastic packaging has become so successful in the area of food contact material packaging. But now, as I a little bit hinted with my dragon in the first slide, the biggest changes, the biggest perhaps also weight is now on environmental matters. This started in the beginning of the 21st century, and it became alive, it became blood and flesh with the EU Circular Economy Package, which was first introduced in 2015 and reintroduced 2016. As part of the Circular Economy Package, EU decided to have a so-called plastic strategy in 2018, and this in turn is then implemented with the Single-Use Plastics Directive. So what Europe is trying to do with the circular economy package, I will explain a little bit in the next slides, but the main elements of the circular economy package are the mandatory targets for packaging recycling. Extended producer responsibility has been introduced and is now enforced in such a way that it becomes mandatory in the whole of Europe. And as a final result, with the Single-Use Plastics Directive, the target is to reduce the amount or volume of single-use plastic waste in the world. Then the third thing, which is now ongoing, it's under preparation, that is the renewal or revising of packaging and packaging waste regulation in European Union. Now here the European Union is targeting reduction of all packaging waste, not only plastic packaging waste. All packaging needs to be recyclable in European Union by 2030. European Commission wants to very strongly increase reusable packaging and replace the single-use packaging not only in plastics but in all packaging materials. Then mandatory recycled raw material content in plastic packaging has been introduced as part of this proposal from European Commission. And then mandatory deposit return schemes are also part of the renewal of packaging and packaging waste regulation. But let's go back to the origin of this very strong emphasis on the environmental regulation on packaging. There are several important challenges of packaging in circular economy, and I would say that the three biggest ones are all plastic. So number one is plastic, number two is plastic, and even number three is plastic. I think this is a photo of an African paradise beach where you see piles of plastic waste and especially plastic packaging waste. So this is a problem European Union wants to tackle. And how it is done? As I told you, 2015, European Union introduced the first circular economy package, and then it was revisited 2016 with two objectives, which go hand in hand. First of all, use the resources in a smarter, more sustainable way by keeping them in use as long as possible, extracting their maximum value and recovering and regenerating materials at the end of life. And secondly, boost global competitiveness, foster sustainable economic growth, and generate new jobs. So perfect combination which will help to enforce the competitive edge of European Union in the future. As I told you already, this is then being made blood and flesh with the EU plastic strategy, and the most important element of the plastic strategy is on the top of this image. That means that by 2030 all plastic packaging is either reusable or can be recyclable in a cost-effective manner. And all the other elements in this plastic strategy support this main target. Then in 2019, European Union introduced the Single-Use Plastic Directive, which actually originates from a study made on European beaches in the 21st century. And what was discovered is that the European beaches, as well as the African paradise beach I was showing an image just a couple of slides ago, is overwhelmed with plastic waste. And this is what the European Union wants to tackle by the Single-Use Plastic Strategy, Directive. Correct. So to wrap up my presentation, I think the packaging business is really walking on a circular economy wire in European Union. And by this I mean that if your packaging is compatible with circular economy, which means, in other words, it is based on renewable raw materials, it is recyclable and also recycled, biodegradable, reusable, It has a required recycled content if it's plastic packaging. The details will be disclosed later on when the Packaging and Packaging Waste Directive is being reformed into a regulation in the coming years. And also it is compliant to food contact material regulation. You have a chance of staying on the wire and have more business opportunities in the future. If then again, your packaging is not compatible with circular economy, you risk of falling from the wire and have less or no business opportunities at all. So this is my message to the audience today, is that you really have to be compatible with the circular economy to be successful with your packaging and everything that is within your packaging in European Union in the coming years, latest by 2030. I very much thank you for your attention. I'm ready to answer any questions in the Q&A session part, and I wish you all a very successful conference day, and send you greetings from Finland, where it looks more or less like this today.
To make that particular process quite seamless is going to be coming your way. And if you look at your timetable right now, we're still kicking it in. For those guys who are a bit hungry, don't worry. Well, we're organizing on exactly how you're going to get your refreshments right here so that we keep up with the time. Right now, I want to introduce on stage a CEO. It's good when CEOs speak to us, because then they're in charge of businesses and entities, and you like to think that they make rules and they oversee the implementation of these policies in these particular entities that they run. At this particular point, I want to welcome Mr. Mashuki, or Sir, who is the FPEAK CEO. Mr. Machuke, it's your time to come on board so you can make this presentation for us at this particular time. Do we have him? As we're waiting for him to appear, because the timetable really has to move on then. Again, we have to have a speaker at this particular time. Again, so let me introduce back to stage the IOPPK CEO, Mr. Nyongesa Joseph, who is going to talk to us about the packaging situation in Kenya and Eastern Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a good thing that he's here, so I want you to stick right here by me. It's going to be a particular question that I'm going to ask after Mr. Nyongesa makes his presentation. So you got to be very keen on the presentation he's going to make, because from there, I'm going to ask a question, and then we see how attentive our audience is. It's our sixth speaker, so seventh speaker actually. So we know exactly how we go. So it's going to be ta-ta-ta, ta-ta, ta-ta. We keep on adding them. 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. Stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the IOPPK CEO, Mr. Joseph Nyongesa. We're going to go ta-ta, 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 ta. Stand by. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Ta-ta, 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 ta. Thank you very much. Mr. Nyongesa, take over.
Thank you very much. Those that I didn't welcome, you're welcome. When I made my opening remarks, some of you are not here, so please, you're welcome. Also, once again, welcome the online community. We are very privileged to have the UNIDO in chief. I think you have heard his presentation, the president of WPO. We have heard from the European Union, Mr. Antro, coming all the way from European Packaging Community. telling us the situation that as it is there. Mine will be to make a few comments about the packaging situation in the country or in the region and in Kenya. Well, the packaging industry in Kenya is composed of the key 4 sectors. We have the plastic section, where we have almost 100 plastic companies doing all kinds of things in rigid plastics and in flexible plastics. So we have over 100 companies doing conversion, printing, and so forth. The plastic industry is the biggest in the country. Around 45% of the packaging turnover in this country is coming from the plastic sector. That is why plastic is the big thing around. And we have the paper sector. We had a big paper mill in this country called Pan-African Paper Mills, but it has since been acquired, and now it is being revived by the company that took over. So in terms of raw materials on paper, we are basically importing. We have a big paper mill in the region, in the name of Mufindi in Tanzania, which makes to plastics, we are landing around 500,000 tons of plastic in this country every year. 500,000 tons of plastics. PET is around 100,000. The others are split between PP, polypropylene, high density polyethylene, low density polyethylene, some PVC. So all these 500,000 tons of plastics is converted into packaging, it's converted into agriculture, construction, and so forth. So that is the level of plastics that we have. When we look at the conversions, I mean, there is a considerable injection molding where you get all these containers and taps which are manufactured, and we have very good conversion capability in the country. We have, are we okay? So we have considerable modern performing injection capability in the country, which makes all these containers you see around, like for margarines, for cooking oils, for bottles like PET, for water, sodas, and so forth. So the plastic industry is quite solid and strong, some good investments, and still willing to go. It supports the horticultural sector, which is a critical sector. Like all the exports, the punnets, the wrappers, most of them are converted locally, but there are some which are also imported. When we need to export, we can basically source the packaging locally and to some extent import quite the ones that we don't have. When it comes to glass, we have a major glass company in the country, which is called Consol. Originally, we had what we called Central Glass. They were the ones who are making basically all the glass around, but it was owned by Kenya Breweries, and it was making bottles for breweries and also for the other players like the soda guys. But it reached a point where it became a bit difficult for them to promote beer and also make glass, because glass is very technologically intensive. So the company was acquired by a South African company called Consol. So that is the big player in the country. But there is also a small player called Mill Glass, based in Mombasa, which makes glass. So glass can also be sourced around. In the metal sector, we basically have a multinational called Nampak from South Africa, which is the big player in the metal subsector. But we also have some small local players like Friendship Containers and Metal Crowns. So we can easily get the metal containers that we need. But the metal is basically imported from other countries, the basic metal, since it is not in the country, so it is sourced from outside. Again, in the export sector, we have quite a number of converters of boxes and paper bags for exports, for tea. I think I can see you are doing that, isn't it? You get, is it you are the one who doing the tea bags? Oh yeah, okay, fine. So they import the paper and then convert it, and it is used for packing bulk tea, bulk coffee for exports. When we look at the flexible printers, when you see the things like Omo, soaps, we have considerable investments in terms of the presses which can be able to do all those and be able to print to a level where they can be locally used and locally exported. So the industry, as it stands, it contributes almost 2% of the Kenyan GDP. So it is quite significant as an industry in its own right, in addition to supporting the other sectors like retail and so forth. So it is, that's the industry that is in place. when it was valued, it was found its value and turnover almost $2 billion, so it is quite a significant contributor. Of course, the industry contributes to value. There's a lot of encouragement in terms of value addition in this country. But in IOPPK, we have moved value addition to value multiplication, because actually packaging multiplies value. Because when we sell tea at about $3 a kilo on the world market, $2 to $3. But when it is processed and packaged, you find the value is multiplied. So we are now starting a new communication that actually packaging multiplies value. When you go to school, you learn addition, but after a while you learn multiplication. So there are a lot of moves in this country to value add, and packaging is the last step of value addition. You cannot have value added until you package the product and it reaches the market. So the need for packaging is going to increase in a big way, because all the counties at the national government, there is need to industrialize. You can't industrialize. The industrialization process cannot be complete without packaging. So there are all these frameworks being put in place of industrialization. And so we still have a journey. In the journey of industrialization will not be complete until we package. So there is great opportunities for investment in the industry directly and indirectly. As we have this, what we call the devolved governments, almost every county or the 47 governments, everybody wants to create opportunities. They want to industrialize. They want to create opportunities for young people. How will you do that without industrializing and packaging? Because packaging will create more and more opportunities. So the future of packaging is quite bright and upbeat. Unfortunately, it had not been taken seriously before, but right now there is a lot of attention to the packaging sector. So that is basically the challenges are there. Of course, as our colleague will tell us a bit from the Ministry of Environment, there are challenges of sustainability, and that is why we are here. There are challenges of plastic waste. And I'd like to assure you that the packaging community has had, it came up with this packaging. So these concerns about packaging waste, plastic waste, there are enough initiatives, and you'll be hearing a little bit more about plastic packs and all this. So the skills and expertise are there to start addressing those issues. And we have a lot of support from the international community, so we can be able to address the challenges that we are facing in this country. Of course, skills development is a big challenge. And on that note, you know, historically we have not had a formal system where packaging skills are developed. Some of us have gotten into packaging by default. I was trained as an industrial engineer. I became the industrial engineer of East Africa Industries, or Unilever. Then I was propelled into packaging by default at a critical moment in the evolution of that industry, where I was supposed to convert. We used to pack in tins. So I was supposed to convert into plastics, everything, convert Omo from paper to plastics. So that's how my journey started in that area. So we need skills development. And the Institute of Packaging Professionals Kenya has been doing that. And we have good support from World Packaging Organization, from WPO, from international partners like ITC and UNIDO, JICA, and others. So we have a lot of programs where we do training in terms of packaging development, packaging, fundamentals of packaging, packaging machinery, and the specific in-house and out-house trainings. So packaging education is critical. We continue to train that packaging is necessary for building a more sustainable society. So with those few remarks, I think you can always get in touch. You'll have our contacts. And IOPPK is a membership organization. If you want to join, you can join and be part of this global movement, global unstoppable movement of packaging. Because packaging is here to stay. It is going nowhere. So we shall just continue to live with it. You see, plastics, as much as it has been bashed a lot, it still has a role to play, and it's not going anywhere. We shall just continue to live with it in a sustainable manner. So, and we are glad that there are solutions to it. So with those few remarks, or many remarks, that's a little bit about the packaging industry. We have made a lot of publications, books, and all this about the details of where the packaging industry is and where it is going in terms of regulatory processes and so forth. We are glad that we have institutions of higher learning today, like University of Nairobi, Technical University. So we want to deepen the packaging education in those universities, so that when people come from college, they can be able to support the industry. The industry has challenges on people. Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
So guess what? Yes. You guys are getting full, isn't it? Yeah, we said the refreshments are going to be here. So now, we can't clap like that. I think we are accustomed to clapping the random way. So let's put our coffees down. Now we have a perfect 8. I'm still counting on it. Perfect 8. So let's put our coffees down. Thank you. So we said it is ta-ta, ta-ta, ta-ta. And we're going to do that in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Ta-ta, 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 ta-ta. Last, ta-ta. It's a perfect 8. Guess what? We did miss the FPEAK CEO who was supposed to speak to us earlier on, but I was informed that there was a representative from that particular office. And we're going to lock them out, because we do have Sophie, who's going to make a presentation in place of the FPEK CEO. Remember, it is the same topic that the IOPPK CEO has handled, the situation of packaging in EA, that is East Africa and Kenya. So Sophie, could you kindly come on stage so we can represent the FPEAK CEO? As we get ready, remember, this is the Packaging Summit. I keep on saying that particular link that we've shared with you, keep on sharing on it. And I do have a couple of comments that I would like to read as well as we wait for our next speaker to come on stage. And if I'm guided, if Sophie's not around, then we're going to move directly online so we get our next presentation, which would then make sense. Technical team, make sure that our next speaker is up to date as I go through some of the comments that are coming in. Now, and this is exactly what we're going to do as a preamble as we get done with our summit today. Now, this is one Sophie. I don't know whether it's a Sophie who was supposed to speak to us today. Now, Sophie is asking, can the IOPPK CEO, that is Nyongesa, tell us about waste and waste management and the role that manufacturers should play in the country. She also adds, where are we? That's a particular question that has come in from one Sophie. Let me just read one more as I'm waiting for my technical department to get in our next speaker. Keep on nodding if the next speaker is ready. All right, this one is Joel. Joel is asking, I'm just trying to summarize it for us. It's now clear. How can small businesses be helped to dictate their packaging and packaging prices? Continues, there seems to be a disconnect between established manufacturers and small manufacturers when it comes to packaging. Last one that is not directed to anyone in particular, and this one is from Isaac watching from Kericho, saying, what laws and that particular presentation that we're going to follow on packaging should small manufacturers strictly adhere to in the country? Guess what? We are going to get particularly into those particular presentations once we continue on with our summit. Remember, if you've not really shared that link, then you're doing this a first of its kind summit, a big injustice in the country. The messages are going keep on streaming in, and thank you very much for those who are watching us online. And remember, that particular link is going to become a video later on. If you still want to share, you can go online, share it, so that you can be part and parcel of this particular presentation. Guess what? We're still going to move on with our presentations. We do expect now to move on to sustainable food packaging approach. And this particular one is still going to come from UNIDO. We do expect Ali to join us shortly for that presentation. Our technical team is getting ready, and as we get ready, we are going then to move on to our challenge table. You guys are full, so let's have fun, isn't it? All right, good. DJ, you can give us something as I introduce the next challenge, and it's quite a small challenge as we wait for Ali then to come on board. We are on a challenge table, by the way, which is quite huge as well, and I want to pick a lady this time round for that particular purpose. And we really have some guests who came in a bit late, so we can actually continue talking about the importance of packaging for brands. There are some brands that have really in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. The audience have seen your profile, they can hear you, they can see you. It's your time then to take over the next chapter of this presentation. Ali, we're ready for you, sir.
I understand I can start, right?
Yes, sir. Jump right in.
Thank you. If you could confirm that you can see the slides.
Yes, you can share the slide.
All good?
Yes, we're good.
Thank you so much again for having this opportunity. And as I mentioned at the beginning during the opening, UNIDO is very much ready to support Africa, the Kenyan Packaging Center, and all the stakeholders in the region in their journey for sustainable packaging. So let me briefly, in the remaining minutes, to tell you where and how we can do this kind of support. And it comes nicely after what our partner Andrew mentioned on the developments at the EU level when it comes to the packaging. Very much like his first photo, where it shows how critical this topic in Europe. But again, for us, the question is, what about developing countries? What about Africa? How do we handle this situation? And that's where the United Nations, represented by UNIDO, could be an honest partner for the developing countries to address this matter. So in my presentation, I will just take you through two main topics. The first one is just to share with you our approach at UNIDO when it comes to the packaging in general and sustainable food packaging in specific. And the second part is to share with you how, together with WPO, our strategic partner, we're trying to support member states in this area. Now, for those who are not aware of UNIDO, we are part of the United Nations system, but we are a specialized agency when it comes to industrial development. And we have almost 170 member states where all African countries are members of UNIDO, and we try to design programs to help our member states under 3 strategic priorities. And you will see it on the slide, and you would see the last one is to safeguard the environment. This is where packaging comes, but we don't look at packaging only from an environmental issue. We look at packaging as one of the industrial sectors, the sector that is so critical for industrial development in the region, a sector that generates employment, contribute to economic development. So from the other side, we don't only look at packaging from an environmental perspective. We try to look at it from an integrated perspective. And our starting point, and that's very specific to your case now in Kenya, I'm sure you're discussing, after seeing the slides from Andrew, trying to ask the question, what is the impact of all these ongoing and upcoming regulations from the EU on your products that are trying to find its way to the EU markets? And I think you all know the challenges maybe better than ourselves, and you know that in order to get your products to the markets within Kenya, within Africa in the region, or outside to Europe, you are facing many challenges. And of course, the packaging regulations, they come on the top of this. And at the legal side, we're helping different countries to try to improve the competitiveness of their supply chains, to try to find new markets. And you know now, with the African Free Trade Agreement, this is also a topic that helping the countries to trade within the region. So in that aspect, we're looking at the packaging as an opportunity to improve the competitiveness and not to be a barrier to moving products around. And I think Andrew was very brief in showcasing the new regulations, but when you look at this deeply, you will find that it's really a serious business. It's really a serious business within Europe. And you saw in his last slide, he was referring to the fact that the packaging business is working on a very thin wire. So imagine that's the situation in Europe, and you can also imagine that the multinational companies and the major European businesses, they will start to react to these regulations. They will start to come with certain their own requirements, their own measures, which will also have an impact on their trade partners in Africa or in Asia or anywhere else. So that's why this topic needs to be really addressed carefully and be prepared for minimizing the implication of these regulations. And that's something we're trying to address when we work with our member states and helping them in upgrading their supply chains and value chains. Now, how do we do this? I mean, you see this simple diagram and you see the orange circle in the middle. We strongly believe that investing in national packaging centers in developing countries will be an important element to help the all industries and all sectors to address this matter. Having a strong, powerful, operational, functional, professional, credible packaging center in the country will help everybody, the packaging producers, packaging users, in addressing any challenge and any opportunity when it comes to packaging. And this is why we are here today. This is why we are here to support the packaging center in Kenya and other packaging centers in Africa and the African packaging body to try to help them out to be the champions in addressing any matter related to packaging. Because it's so difficult for UNIDO or other development partners to go to every single enterprise, every single packaging SME and try to help them out. We need to invest in centers that are there on the ground support. That's exactly our approach, and this is how we partner with WPO to try to help as many centers as possible with our members. So that now brings me to our cooperation with WPO, just to give you a brief on what we do together, and hopefully we can do together in Africa. And now we signed this partnership with WPO back in 2017. And that was the starting point to work together. And I'm glad now, as you could see in the opening, that together with WPO members, I was told that it's still in the first slide, but I'm moving from my side.
Ali?
Shall I stop and share again?
Can you please change the slides from you, because you're the one in control.
So you all still see the first slide?
Because we are only seeing the first slide.
Okay, let me.
Finally, okay, thank you. So you have to change the slides from your computer, because we cannot do it from here.
Can you confirm now?
Yes, now we can see, yes.
Which slide do you see?
UNIDO WPO memorandum.
Good. So maybe let me just, if you confirm, can you see this now, the other slide?
Yes, we can.
Good, because that's the important one I was referring to in UNIDO approach for supporting national packaging centers. And that's the approach UNIDO is advocating for in supporting member states. So I apologize for not seeing the slides, but it was okay from my end. So moving from this slide, I mentioned that together with WPO, we try to help our member states in this area. With this, I will move. This is just an example of some countries where, together with WPO, we've been active in supporting member states. Whether it's Egypt, who will soon become a member on the WPO this year, to Jordan, to Pakistan, to Morocco, to Mongolia, to Cambodia lately, Palestine, and Cuba. In all these countries, together with WPO, we are trying to lobby for establishing a national packaging center to be active in their own countries and also active on the global stage through their membership with WPO. And we will be more than happy to also continue our support in Africa. And that brings me to this. I think you all have met Suha Atallah, Vice President of WPO, who's been a very unique style in starting a journey with Libanpack. And UNIDO was there together with Libanpack to try to address the challenge of their export of food products to the rest of the world. And the solution at that time was to help Lebanon to establish a national packaging center. I'm sure Suha mentioned the story to you before, and if not, I'm sure you can have the time during today and tomorrow to grab here and explain to you this journey. What's unique for us in this journey that we prove the concept that by establishing a packaging center that is functioning in the country, its impact goes beyond its own country. So the impact of the impact went to its region, helping other member states in the region to take the same journey. And Liban Back now is a vice president of the WPO, helping other countries outside the region. And you see she's now in Africa advocating on behalf of WPO and UNIDO on the importance of establishing national packaging centers. So we proved it works, and we proved that it's something that others have to invest in. And now we're in Africa, and that will be my last slide. We are very excited to learn about this roundtable that WPO through Suhadi coordinated in the last ProPack. So I think this was encouraging to see other packaging centers coming together and saying, let's work together and let's support Africa in this journey. And WPO colleagues and Suha approached us and said, you guys have to support this. And we will be more than happy to support. And we started the discussions with the colleagues in Kenya and the colleagues in Ghana. And we are exploring ways how to support. And I think that from the roundtable to this session now, and we will be able together to bring this topic on the agenda of donors, agenda of policymakers, and help you to invest in your national packaging centers and have an active role in Africa and beyond. So I wish you all the best discussions, and we will be taking up discussions forward with the Kenyan Packaging Center and other partners and WTO to put the roadmaps on how we can work together. And this session and this summit is a critical milestone in the journey. So thank you so much, and we remain ready to support you in this journey, and I wish you all the best for the coming sessions and discussions in the summit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ali. All right, it's the same way that we clap, for those who are following, 9th speaker that we've had today. All right, so we go ta-ta all the way up to 9. Let's use the copy that we have in our system, and we're going to start now. All right, stand by. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Ta-ta, 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 ta. Thank you very much. All right, the next speaker that we're going to have here is from the Ministry of Environment to make a quick presentation. And as he's coming to set up, we're going to swiftly go and close in our challenge. The technical team come help him set up the presentation. All right, here we go. We had 1 second, isn't it? Come on board. Come on board. 1 second. I mean, the average was 1 second, isn't it? All right, go behind the challenge table. Thank you very much. Good. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about something complex, are we? We want to drink water. We want to walk into a supermarket for all the water sellers and manufacturers who pack water. Just open the bottle, drink, isn't it? Without speaking specifically of a brand, we said it's got to be, the consensus was 1 second. So you got to do it in 1 second. 1 second. And the good thing is, if you do it in 1 second, you have an extra bottle of water and you go home happy. All right? All eyes on the challenge table as we're waiting for the presentation from the Ministry of Environment. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not supposed to be hard. Introduce yourself officially.
I'm Rebecca Chepkemoi from Ocean Youth Innovators.
It's an innovator who's about to face a challenge. So we're going to count 1. No. Just this one. Just this one. Just this one. This. No. You can't choose this. You can't choose this. You can't. You can't even choose a tumbler. That's it. It's got to be this. Okay? Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Because a second is not 2 seconds. The CEO, IOPPK, said it's going to be 2 seconds, isn't it? Study. Study the park. Study the park. Study the park. Thank you. You need more time to study it? You're fine. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a second. Oh, yeah. All right. Just move the bread so that everybody can see. Good. It is a second. We want to drink water. Okay? Stand by. All eyes on him. On her, sorry. And in 3. You want more time to study? You good? Okay. 1. And let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
One of the biggest challenges we have within East Africa, and I'm sure we are all going to ask ourselves, is that packaging is very, very expensive. So what would be the next steps? You know, because so many of us tend to import ideas for packaging, yet packaging can actually be cheaper within. So I think in preparation for our next speaker, who is the NEMA specialist, probably they will share a few takeaways. Again, thank you so much and have a lovely day.
You're not Sophie. So don't go like Sophie. You gotta stand here. Yeah? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who've been following, we are on the 10th speaker. All right? Not Sophie though. Peter. Thank you very much. So 5 times. Ta ta ta. Quicker that. So we continue with our presentation. Stand by. Stand by. Make them ready. Yes, we are. Good. Not for Sophie, for Peter. And this is gonna go 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Ta ta. 1 ta ta. 2 ta ta. 3 ta ta. 4 ta ta. 5. Thank you very much. They give you more. Maybe they give you some for Sophie as well. Yeah, say hi to her. All right, guys, we're still moving on with our summit. And thank you very much for all those who are participating online. We do appreciate you. A lot of questions that are coming in for the innovators. A lot of questions that are coming in for the manufacturers as well. We're going to share them as well. And since we are still on with our presentations, I want to invite one person that you've not seen once today. Saw her yesterday, said I admire the way she did present herself. She was quite passionate. She's taken a challenge again, and you can see. She's like, why do I have to struggle to use a product? She tried it again today. It took her more than 2 seconds. But then, she's going to make a presentation, and I like how this is from within looking outside, when we appreciate those kind of presentations. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome on board the WPO Vice President. The second time she's coming on board. So I'm just going to leave her to come on board and continue with this presentation. Sana, thank you very much. Karibu.
Happy to be here with you guys. Just, I want to fix my presentation, the first one. Oh, he needs the password, so I will be waiting for him to bring the password. So I will be presenting to you about sustainable packaging trend. As you know now, sustainability is all over the social media, wherever I go, in all the exhibition around the world. From tomorrow, we were going to see in ProPack Africa, ProPack Asia, ProPack MENA, even in Pack Expo in Chicago. Everybody is talking about sustainability. And we're going to see in my presentation now that true sustainability is very important, but also the food is important. You cannot hear? They cannot hear, guys. Now can you hear? Sorry? Like this. Okay, I need to put it closer. I don't have a loud voice as our master of ceremony today. By the way, thank you so much. Everything is being smoothly. So I'm here on behalf of the WPO to talk about sustainable packaging design and how to make sure that our packaging is sustainable. Just to introduce myself, I don't know if I have the time to introduce myself. So before being a WPO Vice President, I'm also Liban Pack Director. Just like the IPP in Kenya, we have Liban Pack in Lebanon. I established Liban Pack with the support of UNIDO in 2008, 15 years ago. I'm not that old, but so now 15 years old, Liban Pack is there. And also with UNIDO support, we managed to also support other packaging center. And I'm also happy to be an expert with UNIDO, where I do also sometimes some consultancy in order to improve the sustainable packaging development for SMEs in several countries. And happy to be today in Africa to talk about this. So as we said, packaging is really an interactive topic. Some people think that why we are talking a lot about packaging. Does it need a global packaging organization? Guys, the screen. Yes, packaging is very important because without packaging, we cannot export our product. We cannot trade. And as in the story that he was talking about in the morning, we cannot carry the food and we cannot store it. So that's why packaging is really important through the whole supply chain, not for industrial product, for agriculture product, for any kind of product, we need packaging. So the password is incorrect. So no, not every time. I need to touch it all the time, okay. So packaging has many roles. The most important role of packaging is the functional role. Most importantly, the packaging should protect the product, and then when we are sure that the functional role is there, we need to move to the marketing role, because the packaging has not only to protect the product, it has to sell the product. It needs to be attractive in terms of design, in terms of illustration. And also we don't have to forget the legal aspect, especially when we talk about legal packaging requirement and labeling requirement. And now we're going to talk about the sustainable importance of packaging, because we have to think about our environment, we have to think about our nature when we design the package. And actually, in simple marketing terms, we are here, we are doing business to respond to consumer needs. And I'm telling you, sustainability is a top priority for our consumers. So we are here also to adopt sustainable packaging design, because it's a request from our consumer. Wherever you go, you see the pictures of garbage in the oceans, in the natures, and the consumers are really behind this movement, and it's not just a trend. It's a requirement. And you can see all over the reports in many countries around the globe that consumers are requesting their loyal brands to move away from plastic and to move away from non-recyclable packaging material. We see this trend for not using plastic and plastic-free and all of this. And I have to say something about, as WPO Vice President, the problem is not in plastic by itself. And the technical term of plastic is polymers. Polymers, they have a lot of importance, especially to food safety, because they extend shelf life by having a lot of barrier. The problem is with the waste management. The problem is with us as a human being. We are throwing the plastic in the nature. So we need to have a good waste management sorting system, and we need to educate as much as possible the consumer, the citizen, not to litter in the nature. And also we need to have this holistic approach. When we talk about plastic, we have to think also about other packaging material, because also if we are caring only about the product itself and not looking about the transportation cost, the carbon emission cost, even recycling by itself has a carbon emission. So that's why I always focus about having a holistic approach while producing packaging material to care about the environment. So now we're going to have some tips on having a successful packaging design. What are the elements of a good sustainable packaging design? Anybody knows what are the 3 elements? What are the 3 elements? It starts with R. Yes? Exactly. So these are the 3 elements: reduce, recycle, and reuse. Reduce means as much as possible, when we design the package, we should use less packaging material. And then by recycle also, we should select a packaging material that is recyclable. And we have the item of the principle of reuse is that if possible also the package, whenever it finishes its own function, also to be able to use it. So we have this schemes that we need to follow it. First of all, the material by itself. Is it the right packaging material for my product? Before also thinking about the environment, we need to think about the product itself, because every product has its own data sheet, has its own technical specification to make sure that this packaging material is suitable for this specific product, and we need as much as possible reduce the volume. Especially nowadays, after COVID, shipping costs have increased a lot. So as much as possible, use a packaging material where the weight is okay. So the first step, as I said, is to select the packaging material. And that's why in every country, and here you have the IPP Kenya with us, they can support you. They can support the entrepreneurs and the SMEs here to select the right packaging material for you guys. And here we can see some of the brands all around the world, they are voicing out this. Here, see for example, in Sun Chips, even before the brand name, they are putting 100% compostable package. So see how much it's important for them to communicate with the consumer that they are following the sustainability trend. Also here from Heinz, they are writing it on the bottle itself that they are made from plant plastics. Here we can see the shift in the Heinz bottle. So first of all, they used to have the glass one, then they moved to the PET, and now they are moving into the pouch, the flexible packaging material. And it's lighter and less use of packaging material. Once we finish with selecting the right packaging material for our product, we move to the design phase. The design phase is very important because also you need to have specific packaging designer to help you design the package in a way to reduce as much as possible packaging weight and packaging size. So here you see the trend. And by the way, as a mother of 2 boys, I'm very happy with this trend because before we used to have blister and it was really frustrating to remove the package. So now they are moving into a simple way of packaging and less packaging material, less ink, and less multiple packaging type. This is also award-winning, by the way, package by World Star. It's called the Eco Box or bag in a box, and it's proven to reduce packaging material. So this is now a very trendy bag in a box design that have been used for beverage or for detergent, for any kind of liquid product. Now, I don't know if Johannes, our Secretary General, is hearing me, but this slide was prepared by him. We always go for the optimal packaging design. As I said, the environment is very important, but more what is important is the product itself and the food itself. So we should go always for the optimum packaging design by avoiding overpack, but we should not go to the underpack. We should not be obsessed with the environment to a stage that we are decreasing the packaging material and forgetting the main important role of the package, that is to protect and to extend the shelf life of product. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to end up with food waste, because food waste is also bad. Okay, food waste is as bad as packaging waste and as the harm for the nature. So the second R, we said the reuse. Now the trend also is to design packaging where the household people can use it again for other purpose. This is an example where we can use it to store or pack any kind of product or food even. And this is also a design for reuse where the package itself will become a toy for the kids. Another trend also that is going through a lot is the refill. And it's being used a lot by the personal care product for the soap, for dishwashing, or hand wash, where you can see that they sell it in a pouch that can be refilled. So you can buy once the PET one and then buy it in flexible pouches where you can just refill the original one. Even for the food, they are using the refill system. When we design a sustainable packaging for product, we should not forget the marketing aspect. So the marketing aspect is that we need to design a pack that is attractive to our consumers, because many people tend to forget this aspect. So even if it's a sustainable packaging design, it should be using the right colors, the right illustration, the right layout to attract your consumer to buy your product. So these are some elements that you need to keep in mind while designing your product. First of all, it needs to be eye-catching. It needs really to tell me, grab me and buy me on the shelves. And it needs to create a kind of differentiation between you and your competitor. And it needs to communicate the message that you want to give to your consumer. And last but not least, it needs to have a brand recognition, brand identity. Like we talk about Coca-Cola, McDonald's, they use specific Pantones of colors or specific illustration to remind the consumer that they belong to this brand. So as I said, here is an example of sustainable packaging design, but they are also eye-catching and nice. So as we said, leading brands all around the world are committing themselves to sustainability and sustainable packaging design. And that's why now we see a lot of brand trial for this paper bottle. And we see how brands like Pepsi and Coke are using plant plastic. And here also example of Nestle. I'm sure you have seen Nestle Smarties. They are shifting into 100% paper bag, okay? And also Kit Kat in Japan. I was in Japan in October, where I have seen this Kit Kat that is made from 100% paper. So if we can move to paper, it's okay. Because here we are talking about dry or chocolate, but sometimes we cannot move away from plastic. Here is another example where a plastic wrap has been replaced by paper as well. Also in the personal care, you see more and more craft paper. But here, for example, let's look at this one because it's very important. Here, they are sometimes kind of misleading the consumer, because I believe that we are here packaging professional people. So here, okay, I can see craft and paper, but for sure there's a layer of plastic because it's a kind of cream that cannot be put directly with paper. Here is also 100% replacement or substitution from plastic tray to paper tray. Another also example, we have talked about bag in a box innovation for liquid juices. So here you can see they are also talking about the footprint, how much plastic reduction, but it's still there's a plastic because the bag is made from flexible packaging material and then it is put in a corrugated box. So it was a quick presentation to overview to you the sustainable packaging design trend around the world, and I will be having more presentation with you during the next 2 days. Thank you, and if you have any kind of question, I'm here for you guys. Thank you.
I like the way they clap, knowing very well that we're going to make them clap again.
Okay, no need to make them clap.
All right, 11th speaker, 11th, talk about the Kenya Packaging Summit. Okay, are we ready? Okay, Put your hands together. Sola, come back. So here, you gotta receive your 11, I don't know what to call it, packages of clubs. Good. Here we go. So ta 10 plus 1. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Ta 1. Thank you very much. Whew. We're moving on. It's gotta happen. It is happening. And nobody's gonna stop us. We are a very critical part of the UNDO's representation. This is where we have sampled some of the questions that you've asked. And by the way, we're going to post the infrastructure for asking your questions as well. Just shortly, they're posting now. What we've done is that we've integrated our questions online. So we have a couple of questions here that a couple of speakers are going to respond to. So do not say that much. You're going to come back and respond to some of the questions that have come online. We're going to post them shortly. That's exactly what the team is working on behind me. But then, so this is exactly what we are going to do. I'm going to sample the first questions that have come in from our feed. Then, any other question that our audience have, even before we wait for infrastructure to be posted, I'm going to come to you. Quick questions. I'm going to sample them. Then immediately, I'm going to call the CEO, IOPPK, then to sort of close this session for UNDO and Ali as well. So our technical team, get Ali ready now, again online, because some of the questions have been addressed to him directly. So those are the ones that we're going to do, so that we see exactly how he can respond to them. All right, so I'm going to pick 3 questions. We've been summarizing them as the technical department so that we get done with this session a bit earlier. All right, so our speakers, if you can hear us now, it's time to get your pens and papers out so you can respond to these questions. And I'm going to read for you the first one. And this is going to the Vice President, WPO, who's just spoken right now. So take those ones down because I'm going to be calling you back so you respond to this one. 2 questions. Number 1. The presence of WPO has not been felt in Africa. What is going on underground so that your presence is felt? 1. The WPO presence has not been felt in Africa. Has not been felt. Felt? Like they've not seen you, your presence. Thank you very much. So you're going to respond to that shortly. We're going to come back to you. I've got a question again to the CEO, Mr. Nyongesa, AOPPK. Here it is coming. What programs are you currently pushing for small manufacturers who want to utilize the Africa Free Continental Trade Area? That question is from James. He said he doesn't want to say the company is running. I don't know whether he's running away from some people, which is fine. We're going to go with it. All right. This next question goes to Ali. Ali, I hope you can hear us right now because we're going to come back to you so we can actually get to respond to this question. Good. Here it is. This is coming from an account called Maki. He said there are a welfare that is supporting manufacturing around Africa. He's not essentially pointed out his particular welfare in terms of the name. And this is what he's saying. Number 1, if we want to speak to you about our welfare, how can we partner? Are you open for partnerships? I think that's a question that's addressed to UNIDO in general, but they want Ali to respond to it. And number 2, what industries specifically are open to your support? I think these are the ones that have been approached again to UNIDO. All right, we have a question to FPAK. I think, Jonjo, you have come back. Yeah? Jonjo, can you hear me? You have a question to FPAK. I think you're going to come back. I will call you back so that now we respond to the questions directly as they come in. Again, this one is so direct to you. I think somebody was not listening well. Could you please articulate your role again in the manufacturing sector? It's a direct question. Somebody wants to know more about FPEAK. So here's where we're gonna go. I'm gonna start with the Vice President, WPO, and then we go to the CEO, that is Mr. Nyongesa, go to Njonjo, and then after that, sample the questions that have come online. Our camera persons, please, if you can, let's now focus on our speakers who are gonna respond to these particular questions. Yes, it's on online, eh? So we can take your question as we wait for, yes, here we go.
So the question is that they didn't feel WPO enough. Okay. Well, that's why I'm here. I don't know, I didn't understand the question, but the proof that WPO care for Kenya and for Africa, that's why I'm here personally, coming all the way from Beirut to represent WPO, and I've been in close contact with Joseph and Zippy to see how we can launch and establish Kenya Star. And I'm also following up personally with UNIDO, as Ali said, that UNIDO is really looking forward to support Africa and to support as well Kenya in particular and other African countries as much as they can with a project. And since I have two hats actually with WPO and UNIDO, we have this partnership between WPO and UNIDO, so WPO is also committed to Africa, and that's why they send me here to represent WPO. So we care a lot for Africa, and we think that it's time for Africa to glow. And there's a lot of opportunity actually, and there's a lot of eagerness to learn, and also even in education, WPO is committed for Africa. We invest a lot in education and in awareness activity for packaging development in Africa.
Thank you very much. Next is CEO, AOPBK. You have a very specific question, and you only have 2 minutes.
Okay, there is a question about the support we have for SMEs. First and foremost, any SME who has an issue, they come to IOPPK or they get us online. Then we support them if they want to develop a particular product. We advise them on the best design. We assist them on where to look for the material and source it economically. We give them different options. So they come around and we advise them and we train them. So we have a very specific SME program at the Institute where you can get advice on how to move. If you want to pack some water, you want to pack some peanuts, you want to pack some popcorns, or you want to pack some honey. Some come with, they want to pack honey, they want to pack peanut butter. So we have some program and advise them so that they just don't go to the market and say, I want to make something like this. Let's say recently we had somebody wanting to pack honey, peanut. So we advise them the options and how they can source the packaging very cost effectively, and how to do the labels. And if they want equipment, how to, where and how to get the equipments, and the most economical source of sourcing of these materials. And we work with them the journey, the primary, the secondary pack, and how to get to the markets, how to get barcodes and all this kind of stuff. So there is a very elaborate program that is there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is Njonjo's time. Njonjo, if you can hear me, come back again. Not as Sophie. Come back again. So you can actually get to respond to James, who was asking your specific role in the manufacturing sector.
Thank you. We were just mulling around, just to try and see whether we have any concrete answers. But unfortunately, the Fresh Produce Exporters Association of Kenya, again, could you articulate your role in the manufacturing sector? So this is a membership association. So we do not deal directly with manufacturers. However, our members are the ones who actually are aligned with the manufacturers because they are the ones who are procuring. So two hats here. One in FPIC and the other one in VegPro. And I'll give an example of VegPro. So what happens is that for packaging material, it is the business that decides who they want to buy from. The association does not influence its members where to buy from. I stand to be corrected. Have I confused everyone, or? Yeah? Thank you.
That's it. James, whatever it is, I hope you've got that particular response. Then from FPEAK. Thank you very much. Now, just because we want to go for lunch, and just before that, there's going to be a challenge just before lunch in the group photo. We're still in the QA. Questions from the audience. The next part of the session, you're going to be able to ask questions directly. We're going to be posting the software here that's going to be allowing you to comment and tell us about the event. But just before we do that, then, any other person who has a question for our speakers we've had in the first session, please. It is your time then. So we raise up your hand. I'll come to you. I already have one question that's going to be from the gentleman here. And then after that, I'll take two more at max before we go to the questions that have also come from our online poll. Introduce yourself and ask the question.
Thank you. Did you say I introduce myself first? Yes. My name is Odoch. Do you want me to say more? I'm the oldest person in this audience. Do you want me to say more? I don't have a question, but I wanted to appreciate all of those people who have presented since I came. Is it WPO? I will start there. You gave us some beautiful presentation on design. I wanted to ask this. Does it also work beautifully in practice? And I would like to rope in our own CEO. What is the situation in Kenya? Does it work beautifully? I'm looking at the links between design and packaging. That's what I'm looking at. Thank you.
Just before you respond, any other person in the audience who has a question, we want to cut you out, because after this you're going to see the questions from the online community, and we're going to also be including you in the online community once we come back in the next session. Any other question? Any other question that we have? Good, we do have a question. Okay. Oh, great.
Compatibility. That is very, very important. When you are talking about protection for the consumer, is how do you protect the consumer as that is packaged. That is also a very important aspect. So just a comment.
Pretty much. Azana? Yes, you can. Let's make it interactive before we go online. We still have a minute.
I wish we had more time to discuss how packaging is important even for the consumer, but because I have limited time. But what you have said, I have a full presentation, how packaging can even sometimes hurt the consumers by not having the appropriate packaging material or not including the guidance how to open or how to close. So yes, packaging is a double sword, as we say. Sometimes it's good, it has very good advantage, but if it's not applicable or designed in the right way, even to protect the consumer while using or to protect the product. So I fully agree, but I didn't mention it here because I was focusing only on sustainable packaging design.
Pretty much. I want you to use the mic because we're recording. We are recording. Yes.
Another comment to CEO regarding the role of Institute of Packaging. What kind of training do you do? Do you do any testing of materials? If somebody brings a material for you, for the package and the product. Do you have short courses? Do you invite manufacturers for seminars? That's the question.
Great. So you have 2 questions that you're going to respond to now. I beg that you come here so we can respond.
Thank you very much. There was the question of packaging design and protection. Packaging was initially, I always look at it from different angles. Packaging has to get along with the product, it has to get along with the consumer, and now it has to get along with society. So packaging is a relationship. And the original purpose of packaging was to contain the product. Okay? I think we are happy with that. The next function was to protect and preserve the product from the point of production to the point of consumption. So functionality is at the heart of packaging design and development. And anytime we are designing our packaging structurally, the geometry of the product, the architecture of the product, that is one of the first cardinal rules. Before even we start talking about anything else, the product must be protected from the source to the destination. And we see it in nature. We are not doing anything new. When nature creates, let's look at an orange. Creation contains an orange, isn't it? We all agree. Then it protects, it contains it, and protects it, and preserves it until it reaches us, or it reaches where it was meant to be. So what we are doing in packaging is nothing new. We are just copying from nature. A banana, let's say a banana. You see, the banana is contained in the leaf, the natural packaging. Then it is protected and preserved. So the first cardinal thing that we do as packaging designers, structurally, geometrically, the tin, the plastic container, protection of the product. That is what packaging was meant to do. The rest, graphic design, beautifying it, giving information is a critical function. So a design is not complete unless it fulfills that chain of carrying the product from the point of production to the point of consumption until it reaches where it was meant to be. However, wherever it is, whether you are taking the product from here to Europe or to America or wherever. So that is the first and foremost cardinal role of packaging. Protect functionality. We call it in our language functionality. It must be functional. So protection is kind of inbuilt. You talk of the role of IOPPK is to build packaging or enhance packaging skills and capability in the country. And we run a lot of courses. We have not had time to share with all of you. We have, let's say, some in-house courses. For example, last year or the other year, we trained almost the coffee sector, the horticulture, the tea. So we have this sectoral kind of training. So we have ongoing programs in the different sectors: tea sector, sugar sector, coffee sector, food sector, horticultural sector, and all that. We trained almost 500-600 people all over the country. So that is one role. The other one is we have running programs that are supported by WPO. We do that almost every year, fundamentals of packaging. Last time we did one in, when did we do the last one? we did one recently on by WPO. So we have these WPO programs physically and online, greatly supported by our WPO colleagues. We also have programs like Fundamentals of Packaging, where somebody comes and wants to have a holistic view of packaging. We have a program on packaging development, where do you go? You wake up, you want to pack honey, you want to pack peanut butter, you want to pack water. How do you start, where do you start, and where you end? That's packaging development. We have a program on packaging machinery, how to choose machines and how to do that. So we go through the basics. Now we're having a program on sustainable packaging for brands. Is your brand sustainable? That is, so we are going through that, and also going through this, how to make packaging standards and all this. Then we have specific substrates. Let's say we want to talk about paper. The story today is about paper. How is paper made? From trees or from wherever, and how does it end up becoming packaging? Then we have a course on metals. We want just to talk about metals. We want to talk about glass. We want to talk about flexible packaging. So all these are on our website. If you visit IOPPK website, you'll see all the trainings that are done. Some are scheduled, some are in-house, and so forth. Some are online, some are physical. So there are a lot of training programs that are going on. That is who we are, and that's what we are into, building packaging skills and capability. Sometimes we do packaging for exporters just to comply with some of these regulations that are coming up, or food contact, that's another big area. How safe is the packaging? So these are ongoing. And also standards, like now we are doing a standard on PET. For example, how do we reuse PET back into circulation so that we can recirculate it? So after PET, from bottles, from soda bottles, water bottles, what are we going to do with them? So we have a program going on with the Coca-Cola and other stakeholders on how we can recycle this mechanically and be incorporated back into the system. This whole concept of circular economy, so that we can remove the waste from the waste stream. So there are all these programs, but just visit our website and you'll learn all about them. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Just to show you what our online community is asking, we do have the questions through the poll that we've sent out to them. They're not going to respond to them. We just want to have a look at them. And I know once our speakers will come in the following sections, then they will be looking at these questions. All right, let's go through some of them as we wait for our next section then to begin. And I will tell you exactly what that is. That's going to be the role of smart packaging technologies in a sustainable and waste-free world. That's exactly what we are waiting for. Fantastic. All right, let me have the questions so we can get to look at them. So we see, yes, there's so many comments that are coming in. We don't have time to tell our online community, thank you for watching. But guess what? Thank you very much for watching. If you had all this time, we would have said thank you to every one of you, read out all your names and appreciated you from whatever it is that you're watching. But for us, is to say we do recognize that you're part and parcel of this first of a kind in this particular summit. Now, just before the next session then, let's look at the questions that we're getting online so we can get our speakers to look at them. They're going to come in and respond to them some other time as well. I got the first question here. What has WPO done to enhance packaging for brands in Africa? Some question. I would like to think that the Vice President got to talk to it. Now, this is a question to Joseph particularly, because I can see they've said that has gone to IPPOK CEO. How does Africa Free Continental Trade Area affect packaging? You're going to have time to respond to that. I've got a question that has gone to a speaker called Antros. Are governments open to supporting sustainable packaging as one as well? And another question again to IOPPOK. What partnerships are in place for small businesses in Kenya that is exactly what our online community is talking about. Once we have a chance, you're going to come back and then get to respond to some of those questions. Now, we're going to a hybrid presentation, and I would like to indulge you to a recording that we have for you from the communications director, the Global Smart Packaging Hub. His name is Andrew Manley. He's going to come then and talk about the role of smart packaging technologies in a sustainable and a waste-free world. Our technical team has it. That's exactly what we're waiting to jump into. So then we can actually get them to move into the last two presentations. I'm going to be very fast before we break for lunch. Keep on reminding, here's the thing, that particular link, keep on sharing. It is quite important. You see, we're getting a lot of feedback from it. So the only way that we're going to say that we are part and parcel of this particular packaging summit. A lot of challenges are going to come in the afternoon, and they're essentially about food. So once we get to crack them, it's going to be very interesting. I can see a lot of juice. There's some more food that's coming in. So you win the challenge, you take the food. And the next one is going to be about 5 guys who are going to be served juice, only with one condition. Looking forward to it. Right, and we do have an idea in mind on who's supposed to actually do that particular challenge. So we're waiting for this presentation on the role of smart packaging technologies in a sustainable and a waste-free world. And that is our communications director, the Global Smart Packaging Hub. That is APIA. His name, Andrew Manley. I'm waiting for our technical team then to get us that, and then after that we jump right into it. Remember, this is the first of a kind packaging summit right here in the country, and we are online at Lookuptv across all those media platforms. That is on Facebook and on YouTube as well. All right, let's jump then into that particular one, which is the role of smart packaging technologies in a sustainable and waste-free world. Yeah, we're getting ready for that particular presentation. We're pulling it up so that we can get right into it. The role of smart packaging. That's exactly what we're getting into. All right, as we wait for that to get ready. We're going to continue. Yeah. All right, DJ, give us something so that we move into the next part of Ascension. All right, get Roseanne ready so that she can come and make that particular presentation then, as we're looking for Andrew Manley then to come on board. All right, place your attention as we swiftly move into this one. Just before we break into lunch, we have one presentation. All right, fantastic. Are we together? Good. Now, final challenge before our presentation as we wait for them to come online. I need one volunteer. And Jojo, come. I need you. Thank you. Your exercise is quite simple, okay? Quite simple. get into the challenge center. Here we go. As you can, I need you to pick tumblers. They're right here. Okay? So how many you're going to get served? How many people want juice? It's very nice juice. It's only that we've covered the branding. It's really on point. Five, one, another, two, another. Well, I need 5 guys who want juice. All right? 3, all right, another. I need 2 more. 4, all right. 1 final one. 1 final place. I need 1 volunteer who's going to take juice. 5, we are fine. Jonjo, your assignment is quite simple. That's it. It's not even about opening it. Your assignment is quite simple. They'll only take juice once this bottle is completely empty. All right? Keep serving. Keep serving. Keep serving. DJ, give us some background. Keep serving. Go right ahead. It doesn't have to be tidy or anything. You just have to serve. Keep on serving. Thank you very much. Guys, you have to support him because if he gets it right, you're taking juice, isn't it? We're talking about smart packaging. Observe how it takes time to open it. The next challenge comes in. Jonjo, you gotta serve. You have 2 minutes. Are we in? Fantastic. Let's get serving. All right, just fill all of them. Remember, do not spill. Get serving. Make it empty. You have 5 people to serve juice. Thank you very much. We keep on moving. Remember, the challenge is to completely empty the package. That's exactly what we have for you. And then again, you have to serve 5 people, so make sure it's well distributed. Good. How many cups are those? 4. Last cup. Keep on serving. Thank you very much. All right, you can balance. You can balance it. You can balance it. Just hold on before you give it to them. Hold on. Because just before you serve it to them, okay? All right. I need one of those ladies who wanted juice. Just come. Come. Please, let's see whether it's passed the assignment here. Come on board. Quick clear that, because we're moving you to the next presentation. All your eyes on the table. All right? So I want you to stand here with me. Take this particular package that is served as juice, okay? I know you want juice. That's what I know. But do not lie. Yeah. Okay? Do not lie. Sidanganye. Do not lie, okay? Yeah. All right. Can you shake the bottle? You can even look inside. Yeah. Is there something inside? There is a little. Yeah. But there's juice inside. There's juice. The entire assignment was that he was supposed to empty the bottle. Yeah. He has not emptied the bottle. Exactly. Now, I'm going to go to him. If you look at this bottle, just can you tell the audience why it's impossible for this bottle to get open, to get completely empty?
It's impossible because I can see the opening of it is very little. Like the opening, it's not fully opened. It's just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So it's actually impossible to drink this right off.
It's not impossible, but it's not impossible to drink, but it's impossible to finish all of
whatever is inside. It's quite impossible. So if somebody gives you a challenge and tells you, I need you to completely open that bottle, it's impossible.
Completely open it.
Completely empty.
Empty, yeah.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Let me ask him. Just don't go. Maybe you're going to go back with juice. If he defends himself, you're going to go back with juice. Jonjo, assess your job. I think you're very quick. You want to serve everybody juice and all that. Why was it impossible for you to empty this bottle? Just look at how you've opened it. You can describe exactly what happens once you open the package and when you went serving.
I think, to be honest, I didn't follow the instructions. He said empty, but I was more interested in serving and not paying attention of what might remain.
Can we try it? Empty the bottle. Are you watching? Sure. All right, let's watch. Empty the bottle. Good. Empty the bottle. Okay. What is all right. Time to mark. Let's mark. They still, he can't do it. Jonjo, here it is. Here is the bottle. Empty the bottle. The instructions are quite clear. You want to help? Or you know the result? You know the result. So the result is quite clear. That there is no way you can actually get to empty this bottle. Now hold on. We've watched movies, okay? Where they say that the biggest challenge is to do what? Press a toothpaste package and get it back inside. But you see, it's a phrase probably that we need to change and say probably is to empty a juice bottle. Now, let me ask a stupid question, please. And you're also part of it. Jojo, you don't lie, please. All right. How many of us, when we were kids, they say packaging should be simple, direct, should not leave you thinking, isn't it? How many of us, when we were kids, when we were bought yogurt, I'm going to start from there. After drinking it, we cracked the bottle, we went for what was inside. Everybody should raise up their hands. Let's go this, let's go this. I can't see. Zippy, your hands has got to be up. Thank you very much. Isn't it? And lick whatever was inside, isn't it? Now, again, a very honest question again, as we wait for our online presenter to come on board. How many of us, right now, knowing very well that this bottle retains juice that you can't get out, that this particular one is going to disturb you? Like, there's something now hanging in the mind, like there's some juice inside that I need to get out. How many of us? Nobody? I see a couple. You should stand. John, you should stand. Now, every time you're going to look for a bottle of juice, I don't think you're going to go for this. You're going to go for something direct. Ladies and gentlemen, easy, straight packaging. That's what we're doing. You failed the challenge. So what do? Do we take the juice or we just leave it? Okay, give a reason as why you should take this juice.
I mean, obviously, the beauty about failing is that next time I'll not fail. So it's a learning curve. Yes, it's that next time I'll not fail because it's a learning curve. But having said so, how many of us here are as thirsty as I am so that I can complete this task?
Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? He's defended it. He said the beauty of failing is the next time he won't fail again. You know what? Is given a proper reason. You can take your juice and you can also serve the ladies also. Actually, Jojo, take one. Actually, take it, yeah. Yeah, please do. Please do. Yeah, take your juice. Take your juice. Thank you very much. I thought our guys were supposed to pick it up. We're good? Thank you very much. Ladies, you can have a seat. Thank you. I got juice, free juice. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving into the last chapter of our presentations just before we get to break for lunch. Right now, I want to introduce our next online speaker, and that's exactly what we're getting into right now. Our technical team, are we ready? Chris, confirm you're ready? Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for the next presentation. All right, are we there? That's the role of smart packaging technologies in a sustainable and waste-free world. Thank you very much. Make the room ready.
From a rather chilly Amsterdam this afternoon. And I hope you're all having a very good meeting in Kenya. We're very sorry we can't be with you in person, but the next best thing these days is to record something of interest for your excellent meeting. I'm going to spend the next few moments going through some interesting facts about smart packaging and how that might relate to your markets and your brand owners operating in those markets or entering those markets. So the title of my presentation is the role of smart packaging technologies in a sustainable and waste-free world. I'll be covering some other areas as well, but that's generally where we're going. Just a brief message about IPEA for those of you who don't know it. The Active and Intelligent Packaging Industry Association has been in existence for about 12 years. We have 1,800 members across all 6 continents, and it's free to qualifying members. So if you'd like to join, go and have a look on our website. We run a number of events ourselves, and we have a very strong ecosystem of brand owners, retailers, research and development companies, packaging manufacturers, logistics companies, and of course the very important active and intelligent packaging providers, as well as a number of institutions that govern our industry. We run events all over the world, particularly though our event in November in Amsterdam, which I'll get to later. So on with the show. Here is a map of our reach. Shows you some of the excellent brand owners and service providers that are part of our ecosystem. This is a very interesting slide to show you the kind of activities that we do and how we do them. So if you look in the middle, you'll see the industries that we are affecting, and around the outside of that, you'll see how we're doing it and with what we're doing it. We will share these slides with you, so please don't worry about trying to take photographs of everything. Of course, the 4 main target groups of our sector are food and beverage, pharmaceutical, personal care and cosmetics and luxury, and the apparel sector. But this doesn't exclude anything else. So if you're in other areas, we operate in a number of other industries such as household goods, electronics, and even things like spare parts. So what are the key drivers for smart packaging? And of course, some of these are very relevant to the African market, and maybe some of them are not quite so relevant just at the moment. Consumer engagement always came in very strongly in the developed economies because brand owners wanted to engage more closely with their customers. But of course, things like food safety and security, condition monitoring of perishable foods, and of course the famous track and trace and managing supply chains, which has become a very important aspect, are all very high on the agenda, as are counterfeiting and tamper-proof. And one of the things that I've picked out here is the increase in smartphone use. I had a quick look, and in Kenya, it's the 3rd largest African country with smartphones at 52 million, only being bested by Nigeria and South Africa in those numbers. So a very significant number of the population in Kenya and around the Horn of Africa entirely is very much towards smartphone use, particularly the younger generations. We'll also touch briefly on things like development of new materials and cost reduction and scalability of smart technologies, as well as technologies such as blockchain. Recycling and sustainability are of course very important, and I'll spend a moment or two talking about them. So is smart packaging sustainable, or can it be? Yes, of course it can. It can be affecting the sustainability issues in a number of ways. So avoiding waste, resource efficiency, simplifying recycling, enabling reuse systems, which is becoming more important, particularly in Europe, informing consumers about the right way to dispose of their packaging, delivering data back to people about the very relevant things about how people are using not only the product but the packaging, and of course very importantly supply chain. Of course, the pandemic had a major impact on everybody. It certainly had a major impact on supply chains, and of course smart packaging played its part in that. But each region has its own particular speciality of challenges. In Africa, poor supply chains, storage and climate are major factors. And of course, these can be addressed with some smart packaging technologies. So through anti-counterfeiting technologies, authentication, hygiene and monitoring, particularly temperature monitoring, because the vaccines were very sensitive, tracking and tracing to make sure that they got where they should get, and real-time data to make sure they got where they should get in the time that they needed to get there to be effective. So a lot of that went on during the pandemic. Of course, we're the other side of that now, but we still have issues about distribution of very sensitive drugs and other things associated with the pandemic. Food, of course, is the highest thing on the agenda when it comes to sustainability. And I always ask this question, what's more important, food waste or packaging waste? Of course, the answer is both. But you can't use the wrong packaging to package food, otherwise you get more problems than you actually do by using unrecyclable packaging. So smart packaging tries not just to tackle the science, but also the human factors such as poor supply chain management, poor retail practices, and of course the ever increasing poor consumer habits. Very quickly, this shows you the scale of the problem. Of course, 30% of all food is wasted, but most of that food waste happens in Europe, North America, and industrialized Asia. You can see that both sub-Saharan Africa and North Africa and Western Central Asia are really very good at on the consumer side of not wasting food. And that's partly to do with culture, partly to do with the way you buy your food and the supply chains that are existing out there. But of course, we do see a major problem in what's called production and retailing here, that of course is the farm area, getting the produce out of the farm or into the supply chains, into the packing factories and out to the consumers. So there's a big challenge there in the African markets. I'm just going to touch on a few areas of sustainability where we act. You may or may not have heard of Holy Grail, which is a major project to try and identify plastics of different types so that we can recycle them more efficiently. This is a big factor in Europe particularly because you can't always recycle different types of plastics effectively unless you sort them. This is becoming a more important and very well managed process through digital watermarking. This is now in industrial trial in France and Denmark. The leader in our particular area of this is a company called Digimark. It's a digital watermark. You can't see it, but it's there, and a camera or a particular device picks up, excuse me, picks up the digital watermark and sorts it into the right container. I think this could be something for the future in Africa, where recycling has got to become a major important issue. I'm sure it is already, but we certainly need to actually get some more sophistication to make sure we recycle effectively. The scale of the challenge is global. This is a statement from Coca-Cola a couple of years ago, setting itself a massive target to collect and recycle a bottle or can for every single one they sell by 2030. And they see that not only do things like deposit return schemes, so collection and reuse, if you want to call it another way, but also they see smart packaging as part of this equation by really delivering messages about how people can dispose of their bottle or can effectively. Consumer engagement, as I said, I'll touch on this very lightly. You may have heard of augmented reality and virtual reality. This is creating a different dimension on your smartphone to entertain and if you like, inform. It can deliver messages. It's app free, and with the penetration on the market of 52 million phones in Kenya alone, then there is potential for this to touch on the younger generations who use their smartphones for everything. Do go and have a look at the Zapar website for some more information on that. Digital printing is vital to the development of smart packaging. I'm just using this one because it's a beautiful pouch printed in 3D so that the tiger actually stands out from the jungle. There are lots and lots of examples of how 3D and digital printing are affecting the way that smart packaging is developing. Turning to food safety and security, of course, the way that smart packaging acts on this is through reducing microbial development, slowing ripening, maintaining color and quality, slowing rate of deterioration, extending supply chains, very important, so that you take longer to actually get your product to the market. Monitoring condition is also equally important, and of course here, certainly in Western markets, the authentication and provenance of the product is very important, and I believe for those who are exporting from your markets, that is something that needs to be addressed. Here's a very simple and elegant solution. It's an additive that you put into the plastics mix before you make the container. It can be used for both flexible and rigid packs. The interesting thing about this is, of course, it costs very little to introduce the additive into a master batch. It's biocompatible, and you can reuse the containers without any loss of efficacy. So in countries where you reuse rigid containers a lot, even plastic ones, if you add this additive in, it will have an antimicrobial and therefore extending shelf life effect. There has been a huge problem with baby formula in many developing parts of the world, particularly places like Asia, where in China in particular, where counterfeits abound. Here, and this is just one example of a number of companies making baby formula, so Friesland Campina here, using one of our members, Kessler's, a very clever encryption technology through a QR code on the pack lid, to secure the identity and traceability of their product. Very vital when you've got babies' health at stake. And it can include other features such as customer loyalty, etc. There are simple and low-cost solutions in the market. The one you can see on my right, your left, I think, is a very small condition monitor that you can attach to a batch or a product. And it's a single-use thing. It will tell you if those products go outside a given temperature range, and will tell you that for at least 72 hours. The other product is something from India, which is an IT-enabled scratch code printed under a scratchable service, so no need for any electronics technology, and it verifies the authenticity of the product, in this case a drug, through the code, which you can access through an app on via the website or via your smartphone. Condition monitors come in all shapes and sizes. I just showed you a very simple one. That one there is very simple, very straightforward, costs very little. These ones are much more sophisticated, can be reused and reprogrammed and have GPS tracking. So if you've got a high value product in a bag, they stay outside of in a particular cool chain environment if they come outside of your given range. Don't ever write off tried and tested technologies. Tried and tested technologies such as vacuum and skin packaging have come a long way in recent years. I'm sure they're used in Africa to pack meat. And this is a very, very elegant way of keeping meat fresh for a lot longer, because the O2 degradation can be as slow as 21 days. So whilst the initial cost of investment on the machinery is quite high, the payback is often extremely good. Here's something that's far less sophisticated but just as effective, is a label which contains an ethylene scavenger, which means that you can slow down the ripening of fruits across a wide range. You can also use the label to do your branding. So it's not just about the efficacy of the ethylene scavenging, you can actually use it as a brand marker. Here's something which is something you can use on everything, and one of the good things about this is that you are actually using it from existing packaging. You do not have to change the packaging that you're using, because this vision system and the supporting software will pick up very, very small changes or very, very small differences in a barcode or a QR code, and that makes this product into a unique ID. Systec are part of Markham Image, who are a well-known company making inkjet printing technologies. They've been using them on PPE kits, on vaccines, because as they say, the internet is a perfect distribution channel for fakes. So this is a very simple and straightforward thing that can be introduced into existing production lines. New materials, very important. I only use one example here, which is based on chitin or chitosan, which is shells from prawns or shrimps or langoustines or lobsters, which are ground into a particular kind of compound, which is then mixed to make a biodegradable plastic packaging film. This one is different because it doesn't use chemicals to extract the chitin or the chitosan. It's already done a pilot. It was due on the market 2021. I think it was delayed. But this particular type of material is readily available and cheaply available. So if you want to try and make antimicrobial and antibacterial films, this is a good source, as is, and I'm very emphatic, every tree has cellulose in it. Most plants have cellulose in it. So you can make antimicrobial and antibacterial films from cellulose. We don't always use QR codes. The simplicity of an RFID or an NFC code is that you can make it covert. It contains more memory, so therefore you can put more information on it. One of the problems has been the cost. There are several companies now making very, very cheap RFID tags, and really as low as less than a cent, really, and that will happen very soon. So here are just two. They're already saying, the top company are saying that they are making tags for less than 4 cents in Asia, and that is coming down. And Talking Things, who are based in Poland, in Europe, are saying that they are going to achieve a tag of 1 cent by 2025. So if RFID, NFC is something you're trying to look at and explore, I suggest you look at these, because these are scalable and affordable, and the features on them are just as good as anything that you'll find that are a lot more expensive. Of course, the more features you want or the more memory you want, the more you pay. Blockchain, you've all heard of. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I think in Africa, it can be used by farmers as part of the authentication and provenance process. So if you want premiumization, you need to be part of this chain of custody to say that you are doing what you're saying you're doing, that this is a deforestation-free zone, for example, or that you're actually using no chemicals in the growing process. It's all part of a quality thing. And here's an example of a Dutch retailer here in Holland using it to actually qualify the provenance of its orange juice. The consumer can access all the information from the blockchain on from a QR code via their smartphone. So you can go from the grove that the orange was actually grown in right through to the store shelf. Here's something that's very useful for smartphone users who are looking for information about things like drugs or more complex things on electronics, etc. This is accessed via your smartphone. Or a QR code on the packaging, and it actually gives you an audio. It's not just visual, it's an audio of the instructions. The good thing about this is, particularly for pharmaceuticals, is that you can deliver an audio in the local language. So it doesn't have to be something that you actually search through a huge leaflet for, or doesn't actually exist in the language that you're selling to in that particular market. Even local languages could be accommodated. So finally, if you want to know more about smart packaging, and in the round, we run our own big World Congress in the Beurs van Berlage, which is a beautiful building in the middle of Amsterdam, the capital of Holland. We usually have 2 brand owner challenges during the course of the event. And what we do say is we cover the entire market. We cover all aspects of smart packaging. It's a truly global event. So if you're interested, please visit our website, the information you see on this screen, and you can actually gain a great deal of insight by attending the 2-day conference in November. Just one final message. It doesn't always have to be sophisticated to be smart. This is an old slide. This guy in Korea arranged his bananas in order of ripeness in a 6-day package, as I call it, so that you never actually had to waste a banana. If you used them in the right order, you used the ripest one first and went through the week until you actually finished your banana. So no waste. And by the way, the packaging is far less impactful than the waste of one banana. So just remember, food can have a bigger impact than packaging can along the supply chain on the environment. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk to you briefly about smart packaging and the various technologies involved. I wish you success with the rest of your conference. If you have any other questions, please address them to me at the email you see on the screen. Thank you and good afternoon.
Andrew Manley, right there with that presentation.
Hello from a rather chilly Amsterdam.
As that one keeps on playing in the background, thank you very much. I want us to twist it like this. We only have one presentation left before we go for lunch. So stick around. My mom says, Simba, you don't have to put on a suit. So I listened to her this Christmas, last Christmas, put on my t-shirt, put on my jeans, for those who know the African culture, put on my rubbers, and I went to church. When I went to church, everybody was in their Sunday best. So apparently, Sunday best is not the kind of packaging for church. So when they were greeting the guests who've never been in church for a year, I could not stand up because then everybody had packaged themselves differently for that Sunday. Good. So my dad told me, Simba, you gotta put on a suit. So I put on a suit. So I went to the market. So when I went to the market, my brother was in a t-shirt and a short. I was in a suit that day. Went to the market to buy groceries. The grocery lady looked at me and said, 1 fruit for you is going to be 55 shillings. So I stepped back because I know the real price. When my brother went back, 1 fruit was 5 shillings. So I was able to get 10 out of the price that I could get for 1. So I went back to my father and said, what is wrong? So my father said, it's because you're in a suit. But then I looked back and told him, but you told me to be in a suit on Saturdays. But then he said, I did not tell you to be in a suit to the market. If you listen to that presentation right there from Andrew Mandley, he said that not every smart packaging needs technology to be smart. You just gotta be smart. So for all the manufacturers in the house who are listening to Andrew Manley, and that's why I wish he were live so we could actually clap for him. But once we get to send him the emails and all the questions that will come later, probably he will know exactly how his presentation has been heavy. Now, I want to introduce right here KEPSA to make their presentation. And their presentation is going to be around plastic packed Kenya updates, issues, and